Hello.
Welcome to LoganRobo's channel, broadcasting live on twitch.tv/LoganRobo and on youtube.com/@LoganRobo. Thank you very much, also Crazy, for re-upping the sub. I'll address that more once the stream begins. Tonight's game will be Ace Attorney Investigations 2, Prosecutor's Gambit. Please be advised, as you enjoy tonight's stream, please do not take any parenting advice from Verity Gavel. Looking at how Eustace and Sean are currently doing, she's batting 0 for 2. Thank you for tuning in to twitch.tv/LoganRobo and youtube.com/@LoganRobo. Please enjoy the stream. And we are live! How is everybody doing? I see Oak was here first saying, "Hey, Longa," in all caps. Guess who has a computer that works? Is it you? I don't know if it's me or not. I was talking to Clam the other night at Improv, and he was saying that apparently it sounds like Windows 11, or Microsoft, I guess, has eased up some of their requirements for Windows 11. So maybe, fingers crossed, I won't have to have a big fundraiser and computer upgrade. We will see. I might still need to. But how you doing, Oak? Crazy. Thank you again. I said thank you during the pre-show. I don't know if you heard it, but thank you so much for re-upping the sub. That's 3 months now. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I hope you're doing well. I hope the notification went out. Looks like we don't have a whole heck of a lot of people over here yet. Oh, but over on YouTube, we got ValTube saying hi, and Thanatos saying hello, and Opinion saying hello. Everyone over on YouTube is extending their vowels. ValTube, Thanatos, Opinion, how you doing? Oh, and ValTube says, the background goes so hard. No, this is a really cool background with Taurus, and Mozilla. That was the fan translation name, right? Again, I'm saying before, it shouldn't have been Taurosaurus, it should have been Tyrannotaurus. But since they didn't use it, I'm copywriting that and gonna use that. Oak says, hi, Phoenix and Penny. I'm glad that old asset is now relevant again. Oak said, yes, my computer works. I got it fixed. Nice. I mean, not only does it work, but the question is, does it work well? Let's go ahead, and while we're waiting for more people to filter on in here, but thank you to those who are here. Oak, Crazy, ValTube, Thanatos, Opinion. How is your weekend going? I hope it's going well. I went and a friend of mine was doing a performance at an Asian festival the other day, so I went to that during the afternoon. It was hot and sunny out. I tried my best to stay in the shade. I think I avoided sunburn, which is no small miracle, considering my very, very pale and burnable Irish skin. But I hope you guys are all doing well. Thank you guys so much for being here. Let's go ahead and load up the game. We'll give you a recap of where we're at. Last time at the end of the stream, we just finished a mind chess with Verity Gavel, and she dropped a bombshell that she is Sean's mom. Now, there was some confusion, because Sean is about 12 or 13 years old, 13, I think. And Verity is 26, but Opinion pointed out for us that I guess he's adopted. So it's probably like a Phoenix Wright and Trucy type of a thing. I'm sure there's some tragedy. I think his past is probably tied to Rosie Ringer. I think he might be Rosie Ringer's biological son. And I still think it's somehow, I hope it somehow ties into Artie Frost and Carmelo Gusto's kids. Because that was like a whole thing we brought up and just kind of glossed over. But so that's where we're at right now. Oak says, I think your computer can definitely handle Windows 11, but honestly, just think you deserve a better CPU anyways. It'd be nice, but things cost money. I will check with whatever the eased up requirements are, and I'll cross my fingers, because it would sure be nice to not have to spend a bunch of money. Crazy says, I'm doing good, enjoying my Switch 2, nice! It'll probably be quite a while before I can get a Switch 2, but for those who are able to get it, congratulations. I did see an interesting story online, was it this morning, or maybe it was yesterday, where there's somebody who posted on either Twitter or Tumblr that he bought a Switch 2, and it basically saved his life, because the next day, he was like diabetic or something like that, and took what was supposed to be like this time release medicine for insulin or whatever, and for some reason the time release like didn't work or it broke, and his blood sugar like plummeted, and he was in risk of dying. And fortunately, at the place he bought the Switch from, they gave him a free bottle of Coca-Cola with it, and that's very sugary, and so he managed to get that, guzzle it down, and it saved his life. So thank you, Nintendo. We salute you. Over on YouTube, Thanatos says, I won't be here for a while. Aw, I need to help a friend edit a video. Cool, so enjoy playing. Well, I hope the video goes well. May I ask what the video is, or is that a secret? ValTube said, the weekend whip is going good. I just got to Comic-Con. What Comic-Con are you at? I love Comic-Con. I wish I could go to San Diego Comic-Con this year. For the longest time, I was going every single year, but the last year and this year, I can't afford it. And Toshi says hi. How you doing, Toshi? Dermo says hello. How you doing, Dermo? We got like friends on both platforms tonight. Oak says, yes, it works very well. Fresh install of Windows. Does it still smell fresh? I don't know what fresh Windows smell like. Oh, Iron Maiden enjoyer. It's been a long time. How are you? Says, are you excited for Persona 4 Revival? I have mixed feelings. Because they're obviously, because the whole thing with like Yuri Lowenthal's post and then everyone else after that, all the other voice actors who've chimed in, it sounds like they're recasting. I'm guessing it has to do with the SAG strike for video game voice actors. And so they're probably not going to have any of the same people, which really saddens me. I want everybody back, but it's probably not going to be possible. Probably not going to happen. Also, I'm like a bit worried that I won't enjoy the character portraits as much, because Persona 4 Golden has such a soft spot in my heart now. But at the same time, seeing that little teaser, it was very nostalgic, hearing that music, seeing you, Narukami, running around Inaba. So I am looking forward to it, but I am cautious. I'm curious about what everybody else's opinions might be on it. But for right now, this music is too sad to be talking about stuff like this. We need to find out more about how exactly Verity Gavel is Sean's... I hate saying the full name, Sean Fenn. That is such a... We still need to figure out the Fenn thing, because somebody else said... Well, I think Queen Katie said that his American fan translation name was John Marsh, and it has something to do with a swamp. And obviously, don't give me spoilers, but I'm still trying to figure out what a swamp has to do with him, because he's obviously cow-themed. But I don't know. Yeah. I'm still trying to figure out how a swamp works, and maybe that just is like kaijus. I don't know, they come from swamps or something like that. A magazine clipping. An article about Sean. You always carry this with you. Yes, this is her evidence that she's his mom. Because not moms wouldn't do that. Yes, everywhere I go, I guess you could call it a kind of talisman. That certainly speaks to the bond between them. And he's missing now, right? So it's not just that he ran away from being questioned, he's been kidnapped? Maybe by Shelly to kill her? I've been just trying to think, there are like no real major suspects for this murder. I am starting to think it might be Judge Cavell who actually is the murderer here. It could be another tragic third case murder. And you're sure he's been kidnapped? Unfortunately, yes. I received a phone call from the kidnapper just before the trial began. Oh, maybe that's why the evidence is missing and she's like, well, I got to acquit. The kidnapper, I bet, wants Fifi Lagarde acquitted and may have convinced her to hide the evidence in order to do it and to have is it pretense or pretext? I think pretext is right. I always get those two mixed up. To acquit her. So is that what's happening? Did they make any demands? Only one, that Fifi Lagarde be found not guilty. Oh, I was right. I mean, it was like 2 lines beforehand, so I shouldn't be too proud. But I was right. Well, that certainly explains what we saw in there. I just thought that it turned out she's an awful judge. Because most of the game she was awful, and then last case she was nice, and so that was probably the outlier. But okay, but she's being blackmailed. Hey, without any, you can't charge me with anything. Isn't that right, Verity, darling? It is. Without the items in question, the prosecution's case against the defendant cannot proceed. As such, this court hereby declares the accused, Fifi Lagarde, not guilty. So maybe if we can convince her that we're going to find Sean and say, like, if we can find him, then you can still declare her guilty, right? That's why you came so close to declaring her innocent. I have failed in my duty to the law. I am a judge. If I cannot arbitrate with impartiality, I make a mockery of justice. And yet, I tried to force through a ruling based on nothing but my own self-interest. Judge Gavell, you're an awful judge. You should be fired. All right, I'm going to read some more in the chat. I thought the sad music would go away, but it's not. Let's see. Crazy says, my friends came over and we played Mario Kart. How is it? Again, I was saying, like, the other night, I want the Koopa kids, the Koopalings, to be back in. I want to be able to play as, like, Lemmy Koopa. But it doesn't look like he... I do like that they have other enemies. You know, just regular Koopa Troopa, little, like, crabs and cows and things like that. Crazy says, not sure how to feel about the P4 remake yet. I wanna like it, but time will tell. And then maybe that's the approach we should all take, is like a wait and see. I'm sure it'll be a quality game. As long as they improve the dungeon design so there are actually designed dungeons instead of just procedurally generated. But then again, in Persona 3 Reload, Tartarus was still procedurally generated, so maybe they won't. I don't know, we'll see. Crazy says, yeah, I heard about that. Good thing Walmart gave those out. Oak said, wait, there's a teaser now. What a mess with my family. What the F? It is real. It was at the Xbox something game show today. There's nothing to it. It basically plays some music, you see a pile of TVs, then Yu Narukami jogs around Inaba for like 5 or 10 seconds. But it's great. Nora with the keyboard slam saying, hi, how you doing, Nora? Oak said, no, why do they call it revival? Well, okay, so my understanding is that it's like revival, like a TV show revival to carry the TV theme. And I think in Japan, I was reading a thing that says that they also use that term more interchangeably with reruns as well. Nora said, because TV revivals, I guess. Oak says it should have been rewind. Okay, Nora was saying the same thing, and I like the idea of rewind, but rewind is a bit of an outdated term. It's becoming a bit more archaic, I think. Over on YouTube, Dermo says, wasn't a fan of how P3 Reloaded handled remaking the music. The compressed samples were replaced with clean, high-quality ones, but they didn't write around that. Mass Destruction in particular is so much worse. You see, I've never played the original P3, so I'm curious what you mean by write around that. Would it have been cooler if it sounded like it was coming through ProTag's headphones the whole time? Like kind of tinny, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, let's play a little bit more, and then I'll be back to chat soon. Judge Gavell, the goddess must be furious with me, but I just couldn't do it. I couldn't sacrifice my son on the altar of justice. I couldn't remain impartial when it mattered most. Well, good news. She loves her adopted son more than her pagan god. Yay. What? Oh, it's me, objection! Of course you couldn't! Are you crazy? Okay. No parent could just give up on their child like that. A bad one could. I bet Excelsius could. He didn't seem like that great of a dad to Eustace, but I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was all an act. Maybe at home he's actually a very caring, compassionate parent who spends a lot of quality time with Eustace. If that makes the goddess of justice mad, then I'm sorry, but she's wrong. If she really thinks that way, then she's the guilty one. Isn't that right, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes. That's all the rest is in my mind. Declaring the goddess guilty. That's bold. Kay is right. As I told you, though we all serve the law, we are also only human. And none of us could or should be expected to sacrifice a child for the sake of a verdict. Phoenix did. Actually, no, technically Apollo did. Apollo Justice did. In Apollo Justice Ace Attorney, in Ace Attorney 4. the Chief Justice's son, dying of incuritis. You got that kid killed. Anyway, I need to have a sip of water. I don't know why, but I'm suddenly getting like very, very thirsty as the stream. I wasn't beforehand, but I don't know. Maybe it's just all this sadness making me get dehydrated. I gotta read some more in the chat, but the music is still so sad. Let's see, Oak says, it does look pretty good though. I'm definitely worried about the voices and the portraits. Well, I'm sure they'll get good voice actors. I am assuming that, I've said this before, I'm assuming the reason why in Metaphor Refantasio, it's all these people that we don't know from other video games is because of the SAG voice actors strike, and so they just cast non-union talent, and they're all great. I'm sure they'll find great, but I'm attached to those voices. Especially Aaron Fitzgerald as Chie, but also everybody else. Yuri Lowenthal as Yosuke, Johnny Young Bosch as Adachi, also as Yu Narakami, but mainly as Adachi. Let's see, Oak says, because honestly, those are the only two things I think they could feasibly mess up. Crazy says, Persona 3 Reload new portraits look a lot better than the OG, so I'm not too worried about that. Well, they certainly shortened the necks. That is good, but also I feel like the Persona 3 art style was a bit like, it was a bit odd. I mean, it was stylized, so it was probably meant to be that way, but it was a bit odd. But I really like the Persona 4 Golden art style, and I kind of just don't want it to change. Oak says, yeah, I have faith in Atlas about the portraits mostly, but I'm a bit worried because the P4 portraits were already so good. And Nora says, y'all know my friend Z, she's on vacation, and she's getting destroyed. She's gotten 29 mosquito bites, and also poison ivy now. I'm sorry, Nora, your friend's dead. Nobody can survive that. Nobody can survive that. All right, let's play some more. Again, we gotta get past this sad music. Otherwise, I'd read a bunch more chat. Oh, and I can even see a little bit further down. Wendy's here. Wendy, are you still here? I see your name down there. I haven't got to your comments. The photos you posted on the Discord were fantastic. Is the convention over now? I feel like Sunday's usually the last day. How was the last day of it? And none of us could or should be expected to sacrifice a child for the sake of a verdict. Thank you, both of you. But the trial must continue. There is no escaping that. Your Honor, there you are. It seems it is time. Well, we shouldn't have sat around here wasting time. We told Fender and Franziska we were going to go find the stolen evidence, and we floundered it with chess. Judge Cavell! My dad was a prosecutor. He was also, like, part of a great thief. But that's another story. Yeah, he used to work in a courtroom just like you do. And I was thinking about what he would have done if he was in your position right now. You know what he'd done? He'd let me die. He would have let me die. If a prosecutor were forced to insist that a clearly innocent suspect be found guilty, I know what he would have done. Anything. That's what he would have done. Anything to get me back. He would. So what I'm trying to say is you can trust us. You did, yeah, let a guilty person go free. It's fine. What do you mean? To get him back, to snatch him from the jaws of danger. You see, this is happier music now. Now I can read some in the chat. Now that it's not all being all sad sacks because a kid's missing, we're being happy sacks because a kid's gonna be found. Let's see. Oak says, and the concept art I've seen so far looks like it's changing the designs. Okay, I saw like one image. I'm not convinced that the leaks are real, but we'll see. You know what'd be really cool? Because like Persona 4 Golden isn't that old. If they did something more like the Final Fantasy VII remake, and it's like it is a remake, but it's also kind of messing with the timeline and stuff. Oak said, which is weird. I'm reinstalling all of my programs right now, which will take forever. I'm sorry, are you still gonna be able to hang out? Are you on like mobile with us? Crazy says, Mario Kart World is really fun and honestly is just fun driving around. That's right, because it's like an open world thing between the races. Like you finish a race, you gotta drive to the next one. Do they have fast travel in case you get bored of driving? Hopefully you won't get bored of driving in a driving game, but I don't know. And there there's Wendy saying hi, friends. Currently in the TSA line, heading back home. And I low-key cried happy tears on the ride here because this weekend has been such a dream. See, aren't you glad you went? You were nervous about it. I know conventions can be stressful, but it was worth it, wasn't it? I'm so glad that you had such a good time, Wendy. You deserve it. Oak said, I'm transferring like a terabyte of backup files. Nora says to Wendy, yeah. Wendy says, I met Joey Wheeler, guys. Literal tears. Over on YouTube, Dermo says, the low quality did give it an old hip-hop vibe, which was endearing, but it's more that the composition worked with the samples, so the volume and panning sounded weird, and you just can't replace that stuff with no alterations. You see, I'm not, like, knowledgeable enough in music to pick up on those type of differences. So I will defer to you. Like, I'm not doubting you. You're probably absolutely correct. I'm a bit too much of a music plebeian. I always say plebeian, but I've heard other people say plebs. But I will trust you on that, Dermo. Anyway, let's play a little bit more of the game. To get him back, to snatch him from the jaws of danger. I'm the second Yatagarasu, and if you agree to trust me, I promise I'll get him back for you. Actually, you know, I like this. I like Casey. I love this sprite with her smile like that. The thief who steals only the truth. And now kids. But, I mean, if you're a thief and if you steal kids, but those kids have already been kidnapped, are you really a kidnapper? Or are you a kid waker-upper from the napper? Makes you think. And perhaps one or two other things, such as children. Well, Judge Gavelle, what do you say? Will you trust the great thief to steal back that which matters most to you? Mr. Edgeworth, I'd like to help too, if that's all right with you. Thank you. I know I'm in no position to ask this of you, but please, see that he comes home safely. Oh, he will! See that he comes home. The safely part, he might be in a box. But don't worry, you can count on us. Here, take my cell phone. Oh, that's your cell phone. I guess it's like sparklier than his would be. I mean, are those sparkles or are they supposed to be like constellations? My camera's covering part of it. But then we got a little strap and we got a Taurosaurus. Here, take my cell phone. The kidnapper may call again. So should we just pretend to be Gavelle when we answer? You'll get it back, along with your son. I promise. I will do everything I can to draw out the trial, but I don't imagine I can give you more than about 2 hours at best. So for us, that'll be like 5 or 6 in the way we play, or the way I play. 2 hours, that gives us until 2 p.m. So if you do math, that means right now, it's around noon. Part of me wishes they'd do a timer on this. Not for my stream, but just for the game. Like in general, that would have been fun. I'm gonna read a couple more comments in the chat. Oak says, revival kind of works, but I still think rewind would be good. The thing is, like, do the kids, the young whippersnappers nowadays even know what rewinding is? We should ask Nor. Nor, you're the youngest person. Oh, no, I guess you said they should have used rewind. So you know what rewinding is, right? Pop quiz, Nor, describe what rewinding entails. We gotta make sure if you actually know or if you just heard about it and pretend to know. Oak says, although I think rerun is definitely a better translation. I like the idea, I kind of like rerun. But I would have gone really well with the teaser because Yu Narakami was running. But that's another thing. In the age of DVR and streaming, mainly streaming, like I don't even have DVR anymore. I unplugged from Dish Network a couple of years ago. I don't know if people even like think about reruns either. Crazy says, I really like Reload's music more than P3's though. It could be because I heard Reload's first. And that probably happens to a lot of people. Like I know some people have like recency bias, but I think other people have like, what would you call it, nostalgic bias? When he says, guys, ... drag scene in 4K. I just hope Teddy is less of a sex offender in the revival. When he said, we are so back. Nora said, oh, I had an interview this morning. How'd it go? Nora says, quote, I am only human. I'm only human after all. Once Vero gets here, I can remind Vero that there's a Transformers episode titled Only Human. Over on YouTube, Dermo says, a kidnapped kidnapper. That could just refer to the guards. I mean, maybe. It kind of reminds me of the old TV show Dexter. You know, he's a serial killer, but he only kills other killers. So maybe it could be like Dexter. It's like maybe it's kind of a good guy. You're a kidnapper, but you just kidnap kids and hopefully return them to their parents, not just like keep them, because then you are, in that case, just as bad. Opinion says, wait, who the heck doesn't know what the word rewind means? I don't know, young people? I bet like my youngest nephew, if I asked him, he probably wouldn't quite understand rewinding. I think like young kids, I bet, maybe. Never underestimate how out of touch with the past children are. A past they weren't alive for. 2 hours, that gives us until 2 p.m. Please, I'm counting on you. Curtsy again. Goodbye. Bloop. Heh, and here I thought the great thief was on sabbatical. Well, hold on to your hat. Hang on. No, first you gotta put a hat on. There you go. Now hold on to that hat, because she's back in business. All right, let's do this. My first commission. I can't afford to mess it up. In that case, we'd better start looking right away. Where to begin? Where the heck did he go? Maybe he just went home. Oh, is that what we're gonna check? Do we gotta go to Gavel's house? Huh?
Puzzles, who keeps walking into you mentioning me? How does this keep happening? Anyway, I thought of rewinding because even when you're done with someone's arc you can still rewind and go to their mind palace. But rewind is better metaphorically, I guess.
There we go. And also, Vero, since you're here, Rewind is one of the 2 first canonically gay Transformers. In the Dreamwave universe, they were going to make Sunstreaker gay, but it never ended up happening, so he was still straight. But yeah, Rewind, one of 2 canonically gay, the first 2. Then after that, they, like once that went over fine, like a ton of them. Like, so gay. I'm serious. I love the IDW universe, but toward the end it was like a gay orgy.
Rewind is what? Does Blaster know?
Probably. I hope his dad knows. He better have come out to his dad. I would think Blaster seems like he'd be chill about it, though. But thank you very much, Vero, for the 2 sets of 10 bits. Yeah, because we were talking about, like, Only Human because of that episode of Transformers. But how are you doing, Vero? Good to see you here. I feel like I got so behind on the Discord this weekend. But part of it's because I am, like, frantically behind on editing videos to upload to TikTok and YouTube, mainly because like the last few ones I've been making some kind of long ones, and I don't know if you realize this, longer videos take a lot more time to make. But I should read some more in the chat then while I'm here. See, Oak says,
P4R was not on my list of announcements.
Hey, Chaotic! Wait, what list do you mean? Like your prediction list? Is that not like what you were expecting to happen? I mean, it did feel like with all the voice actors speaking out, they either had to scramble to put something together to put it out, or maybe, I think Beowulf thinks that might have been orchestrated to generate buzz and anticipation for it. I feel like if I was trying to generate buzz and anticipation, I wouldn't have beloved voice actors say, I'm not gonna be in it, because that would like create negative buzz. But maybe some people are like, hey, any press, good press! Thank you for the 10 bits, Chaotic. Apparently I need to read some chat. I'm getting off track here. But yeah, Oak says, I like most of the reload versions more, except Burn My Dread. Because of you guys, I can't, like, my brain wants to autocorrect that into Burn My Bread. The exam music and mass destruction. What he said, can't believe I got to meet Joey's voice actor, and P4R gets announced the same weekend before GTA 6. And you met Teddy's voice actor, speaking of Persona 4. When he says to Oak, they did mass destruction so dirty in Reload. Nora says to Oak, Burn My Dread is so peak, question mark. Oak said the Reload version is worse, though. Nora said, I prefer the Reload version. Oak says evil. And Nora says, bro, I love Azumi Takahashi, so, huh?
Burn my bread.
You see, like, everybody said that every time, and that's what's locked into my brain. But thank you very much for the 10 bits, Chaotic. I appreciate that. Over on YouTube, Opinion says, I'm 18. It means go back, reverse, usually on footage or music. Does it mean something else to you? No, it's just like for TV shows, like cassette tapes that basically, like, in order to start over, you had to rewind an entire cassette tape, which would sometimes take like several minutes of sitting down. They also had Be Kind Rewind, that if you rented a video before they had DVDs from like a Blockbuster, that they would sometimes charge, I think they would like charge you a fee. I'm not sure if you like returned it and it wasn't rewound. It was like a rewinding fee, probably something cheap, I would imagine. But yeah, so it's like if you watched a movie and then yeah, you'd have to like rewind it, or if there's multiple things you have to rewind and fast forward. But yeah, it's that. But you're 18 though. Again, I'm talking about like young kids. You are legally an adult. You got to do like taxes and stuff like that. Anyway, let's just keep playing the game now for a bit. I'll be back to the chat soon. I miss you guys already. I love you all, chat. Maybe he just went home. You're right. They won't be doing any filming today after all. Sure. Maybe he went on the lam. Perhaps we should see if Sean left any clues behind at the big building. Hey, what are you doing giving orders? This is a great thief operation. I'm in charge now. Is that so? Then what am I? You're my assistant! First assistant to the great thief Yatagarasu. Talk about an honor. I've been relegated to thief's assistant. That's what happens when you're unemployed, Miles. All right, let's go to work. Team Yatagarasu, move out. Hope they both run off all heroically. Yeah, I love her jump. Didn't even run, but it was like at the end of a level of a video game. April 6, 12:10 p.m. Big building plaza. So we're gonna investigate out here. Wait, why are we're inside the building. Why are we, what? Oh no, we were at the courthouse. That's right, never mind. It's the courthouse, I forgot. Different place. I am dumb. All right, here we are, ready on 3, huh?
If only they actually showed more than 10 seconds of gameplay.
I'm not entirely convinced that that's even finalized gameplay. For some reason, Yu Narukami's model looked just really smooth to me, as if it's not finished. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm mistaken. But yeah, it was just a teaser, though. Just a little something. Better than we've seen so far for Persona 6. Wasn't that just like a picture of a green paint bucket or something like that? But thank you very much to the 10 bits chaotic. I appreciate that. On 3, just follow my lead. You'll be fine, okay? What exactly are you talking about? Even in the depths of night. Hey, your turn! Keep up, will you? Even in the depths of night. Make it double. Why are you making me do this? Because the great thief Yatagarasu just arrived at the scene, dummy! How is anyone supposed to know if we don't announce her presence? You may be a thief, but I most certainly am not. You're the thief's hype man. Miles, just be grateful you have a job again. Fine, I'll do it on my own. I'll do your voice for your parts, okay? Even in the depths of night! When the thief... Wait, no, sorry, let's start over. I said thief. Even in the depths of night, when no other bird dares take flight, one alone soars to shine, the light of righteousness on the world's blight. And that one is me, for I'm the great thief Yatagarasu! I'm very much aware of who you are, thank you. Now, shall we get on with this investigation? Well, now the cab driver knows as well. You're no fun at all. Phoenix should dump you and let you die alone. We don't have time for fun. We have less than 2 hours, in fact. We'd better get started. Oh, did they update? Did they change the clock? Oh, that's really cool. All right, we have the phone. Oh, look who it is! It's Will Powers! Will Powers is here! Will Powers down at the bottom. Is he the suit actor? Because he was already a Steel Samurai suit actor. And I think Penny said that he was going to be outside as Will Powers! I want to go talk to Will Powers. I miss him. Not as much as I missed Penny Nichols. I'm not gonna try and seduce Will Powers. Please do not worry, chat. That was reserved exclusively for the lovely, beautiful, incomparable Penny Nichols. Well, all right, we have the photo. Let's show it to a few people, see if it jogs any memories. Begin investigation. Big building plaza. Okay, first of all, let's save, because we're a half hour to stream and haven't saved yet. But I'm very excited that Will Powers is back. Let's see, gotta read some more in the chat. Crazy says, yeah, I also prefer Reload's version, but again, probably because I heard it first. Queen said, howdy. Got caught up in talking to my dad. Lol, how you doing, Queen Katie? Welcome. Nora says, Katie Bat Queen. Queen Katie with a heart. Nora says, Katie Bat Queen. Oh, Katie Cat Bean. And Queen Katie says, no. Nora says, hi, Quaty. Cypher says, I'm late. Late, but I'm here. What I miss? Nothing. We just talked a little bit about Persona 4 revival announcement and told a lady that we'd rescue her kid or something. But how you doing, Cypher? Nora said that one thing of your thing that you posted, that was Quaty Bean Cat. And then Nora says to Cypher, life. Queen Katie said, anyway, I'm in the process of getting Detective Conan episodes to my collection so me and my dad can watch them easily someday. I want to watch more of that, but it's hard to figure out where to watch it streaming because everybody only has like chunks of the series. Oak said, I haven't been doing as much wiki the past day or two, but I've still done a bunch more since last time. Ooh, I need to check some more. I should get in the habit of checking that every couple of days. Thank you for the heads up, Oak. Queen Katie said, the bald Katie. And Nora says, yes. Imagine they just re-put out Persona 4 Gold to trick people and do nothing at all. I think that'd be wonderful. Just keep the same audio tracks so you can have the same voice actors. Cypher says, the leaks of the P4 Yosuke outfit are very similar to the look of the P3 Pro Tags concept art it has for the P3 art book. Yeah, but it's also a different costume. So unless it's for just alternate costumes, which is possible, I do hope they add some more of those, but I'm still skeptical of that. Let's take a look over on YouTube. Dermo says, in fairness, the instrumental tracks aren't bad, it's just the vocal ones. And again, I take your word for it, I wish I was like cool with music and I could like tell that stuff, but I'm just not. I've got a very immature ear. I don't know. Is there a term for that? Opinion says, oh yeah, I've heard of the cassette tapes, but I've never seen one or know what rewinding one looks like. I mentioned this on Discord. I have a handful of them here. I just don't have a VCR to actually play them on. Not a functioning one. I got one a while back and like I'm finally gonna be able to like watch some of these tapes. I tried popping one in and it tried to eat the tape. And it's like, well, this is old and broken. And so it was awful. I had to like take it apart to get the tape back out of it. So I don't know what to do with them. Derma says, one of the Beatles producers messed up his arm from repeatedly flipping and rewinding tape reels. They were doing backwards stuff. Interesting. I assume satanic messages in the background. That's what you do in the rock and roll music, right? And Derma says, old recording tape is heavy stuff. Well, I'd imagine like for, music, like reels of the tape probably is. Cassette tapes are light though, because they're just real, they're tiny. Oak says, I can stay. I'm just installing some stuff in the background. Okay, I hope that your RAM allows you to continue to have good streamage. Crazy says, the open world does have fast travel for every track. Okay, that's good as well. Here's the thing I am looking forward to with Persona 4, by the way, speaking of open worlds. I know it's not open world, but it looks like you can move the camera around like when you're running up and down that main street in Inaba now. That's cool. Nora says, I think Z is dead. Probably. From all those mosquito bites and poison ivy, that'll do it to you. Quick said, do we have to talk about that one here? Lol, I'm pretty sure it's fake. Cypher says, I still believe it could be real, I don't know. Nora says, I haven't seen any of the leaks, but I doubt they're real. Oak said, even the ones that aren't leaks. Wendy says, my phone is at 2%, no! So BRB when I'm in a place where I can charge my phone. I got to the airport super early, so I'll probably just stick around for the stream. Fortunately, I feel like most airports these days have like USB ports for charging. Thank you for the lurk, Wendy. We'll see you when you get back. I'm gonna have a sip of water. Oh, and we got a new person over on YouTube. I just glanced over. Little Frost saying hi with a little crown and waving. You're like a little Jack Frost. Little hee-ho. How you doing, Little Frost? Have you been here before? I feel like you're new. I don't think I've seen you here before, but I could be wrong. If you are new, before we get back in the game, let me give a quick rundown of the channel. We stream Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays, currently alternating between this game, Ace Attorney Investigations 2, Prosecutor's Gambit, and Metaphor Refantasio, a great JRPG for the makers of the Persona series. I assume you're into Persona based on your profile picture that you have there of Jack Frost. So have you seen any Ace Attorney stuff as well? We are late game in both games, by the way. And I'd love to hear how you found us. Were you just like out looking for a streamer? Have you seen any like our Persona shorts or TikToks or things like that we've been posting? But welcome! I hope you enjoy your time here. I do read every comment in chat, but I'm always behind. I see there's two more. I'll read these really quickly, then we'll get back in the game. Derma says, hee-ho! And then Little Frost says, Persona 4 trailer is out today. The remake. Did you watch it? Yes, we've been talking about that like all stream so far. I have mixed feelings because they're going to recast the voices, it sounds like, probably because of the SAG strike. and I'm worried they might mess up character portraits, but also, like, that trailer was bringing back so many good memories. Just seeing Inaba again, I miss it. I don't know if I'll stream that game when it comes out, because I tend to stream blind playthroughs almost exclusively. And I know the story now, since we played Persona 4 Golden, so I don't know if it'd be as fun to watch me play a game if I know what's gonna happen. But welcome! I hope you enjoy your time here, Little Frost. All right, let's play some game. We gotta do some investigating. We gotta go say hi to... It's him! Let's see who else is here first. So we got him, we got a little guard guy. All right, so we just got Will Powers. Let's talk to Will Powers. Oh, I missed you. No, again, not as much as Penny Nichols, but I missed you, bro.
Oh, hey, Mr. Edgeworth. Long time no see. Oh.
Wait, you're... This is Will Powers. He's an action star I met on an old case. Well, I was gonna say 2 old cases, but I guess... No, because Edgeworth did come back in the Matt on Guard case, but did he meet Will Powers during that at all? I can't remember.
He's also the man behind the mask of the one and only Steel Samurai.
Didn't he lose that job? I'm trying to remember.
Long time no see, indeed.
Okay, I wish Edgeworth would totally geek out about this, because he's a Steel Samurai super fan. I know he's got to maintain his composure, but just for this interaction, I would love to see him, like, just nerd out.
Nice to meet you. I'm Kay Faraday, great thief. Mr. Edgeworth has been working as my assistant. Good to meet you, but, thief. Mr. Edgeworth has been assisting a thief.
I don't think this is what his voice sounded like. I think I tried to do a Cowardly Lion impression, but I don't remember how to do it. It was like, type of a thing. I don't think I can do that anymore. Oh, and there's a pin message on Twitch, written by Queen Katie, pinned by Crystal. Crystal, welcome, I didn't see it come in. Says Will Power, it's a name fact, Japanese name fact for Will Powers. Will Powers' Japanese name is Saburo Niboshi. Niboshi comes from the word of the same name, Niboshi, which are dried baby sardines, similar to anchovies. Apparently, the kanji were picked from the idea that, quote, even though something is small, like the sardine, it can have the dream of being a big star. I think it can have a big flavor as well, maybe. I've never had sardines, but I've heard they're very, very salty. So thank you very much for the name fact. Obviously, he predated the unofficial English translation, so he won't have a unofficial fan name. But it's good to see him again.
He became the Pink Princess after Sal got inspo to make the Pink Princess after meeting Maya Fey.
Okay, maybe that's what it was, because I remember when we saw him in the second game that he wasn't the Steel Samurai anymore, so maybe he got his job back from the way that Edgeworth is talking, or maybe Edgeworth just hasn't been keeping up on Pink Princess stuff. But in the last Investigations game, wasn't, no, because I was gonna say it wasn't Wendy Oldbag, the Pink Princess or whatever, but no, I think that wasn't like the actual movie actors, that was just an event. It's like if you go to Disneyland, they don't actually put Mickey Mouse in a Mickey Mouse costume. No. But thank you very much for the 10 bits, Vero. I appreciate that. I will read some more chat in a little bit, but let's play a bit more of the game soon. First, then we'll be back soon.
Good to meet you, but thief. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth has been assisting a thief. Oh.
Let's not worry about that for now. We'd like to ask you about what happened this morning, if that's all right.
Oh, sure. I don't know if it can be much help to you, but sure.
So he'll be one of Sean's work colleagues. I guess we'd better just dive right in. The duality of man with his expressions. Okay, we're gonna present all the evidence to him. I think we're gonna hold off on having the conversation first, because I wanna wander around in case we get more evidence to present to him, because there might be fun conversations here.
Wait, they don't put Mickey Mouse in the costume? How could you destroy my dreams like this, Logan, you monster? Boo. Boo, shame on you.
Aww. Well, thank you very much for the 10 bit. Well, how could have you seen Mickey Mouse? He's not like this type, but he's short, he's tiny. When you see a person, they're like tall. Huh?
So if I go to Universal Studios the Megatron, there won't be the actual Megatron?
Well, only in that he's the Michael Bay version, who's not a real Megatron. That is the actor who played him in the movie. They tell you that it was what's-his-face, Agent Smith from Matrix, Hugo Weaving. But no, that is him. That is the real Michael Bay movie Megatron. But he doesn't count as like a real Megatron, if you ask me. But he's actually really good. I've got I met him, and I also have a video somewhere. I think it got deleted. I think I just got tagged in it years ago on social media by a friend who deactivated her account with it. Oh, huh?
Yeah, Hess tiny. That's why they put him in costume, because Hess insecure about his height. Boo.
Ah, well, you know, I got no argument against that. I think you've run circles around me with your logic, Oak. I think you must be correct. Thank you both, Vero and Oak, for the 10 bits. I guess we'll read some more of the chat while we're pausing here. Let's see. Oak said because they released an official teaser. I just found it like 5 minutes ago. It's insane. How could you not? Like, people were talking about it in the Discord. I think you chimed in the conversation about it on Discord, or maybe it was mistaken. Maybe I was just scrolling up to before the trailer released. Nora said, Oak, I'm saying I don't think the leaks are real. Cypher says, I don't know. I think the remake was announced too early. If it wasn't for the leaks, it would not have been announced at all. If you want to talk early, you got to talk about Bethesda announcing Elder Scrolls 6. What was that, like a couple of years ago? And just nothing. And I think at the time they're like, hey, Elder Scrolls 6. We haven't even started working on it. We're not going to start until like Starfield is done. Nora says, I can pretend to be Gavel. Quote, Moshi Moshi, this is Batty Verity. You got it. No one will be able to tell the difference. Quigita said, by the way, Logan, based on how you go in this stream today, we could look at another mine chest tonight? Is this going to be like a really short? No, it can't be a short chapter. This is the last one, right? I know I was shocked too. 2 in 1 guide page that soon? But you know, we'll be knocking them out early. Over on YouTube, let's see. Little Frost said, today's my birthday! And I turned 19, great news, I got a Nintendo Switch too, congratulations! Okay, everybody, even though Little Frost is brand new to the community here, you guys know the deal, whenever somebody has a birthday, we gotta sing happy birthday. Which, by the way, we also gotta do soon, because I believe tomorrow is Clam's birthday. So, except we're not streaming tomorrow. Next time Clam shows up, we gotta wish Clam a happy birthday. But, so we gotta sing happy birthday. Everybody get ready, okay? Little Frost, hope you're ready. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Little Frost. Happy birthday to you. And I assume when I get to this point in chat and I get caught up to that, there'll be people saying happy birthday as well. But happy birthday, Little Frost. Congrats on the Switch too. I hope it's treating you well. Derma says happy birthday. Little Frost says thank you. Derma says, quote, they don't put the actual Mickey Mouse in don't put the actual Mickey Mouse in Disneyland, end quote. Yeah, it's animation. There are many incarnations of him regardless. Well, I mean, you know, because animation, it could be well, wasn't that like an old Simpsons joke or something about that, like it being animated in front of a live studio audience until it was too difficult on the animator's hands or something like that? I can't remember. And there's Crystal, by the way, popped the link tree over in YouTube. So Little Frost, if you are still there, that link tree includes all of our social media, Discord invite link, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, all this stuff. Feel free to make use of it as you see fit or ignore it because there's never any pressure, but it's just there should you feel so inclined. Let's see. Oak says rewind is still used for just going back in general. I guess, but it is a little bit archaic. I like it though, but I could see like executives like sitting down and saying, "No, we can't do that. We don't rewind things anymore." Cyrus says, "I am 16. I know what rewinding is. It's rewinding a film on cassette tape." Okay, there we go. So an actual kid does know. All right, so maybe I was wrong then. Nora said, "Like ... rewinding ... a tape?" ? Cyrus says, "You know our comedy running looks so trash. I can't stand it. Everything else looks great." Nora says, "I know I'm the youngest one here, but I'm not 5." Cyrus says, "Teddy was supposed to be similar to a young child. He's repeating things like a child would." I don't know where he's repeating all that sexual harassment from, but maybe it's a translation thing. Maybe it got lost in translation. I would prefer a bit more innocent of a Teddy, a bit less sex pest Teddy, personally. Just saying. And there's Vero coming and says, "How does he keep catching me when I just walk in?" It was, you know what it is, Vero? You honestly want to know how it is you walk in right as we're talking about you? It's because when you're not here, we talk about you nonstop. It's weird, Vero, but we're like low-key obsessed with you. Okay, let me have a sip of water. We'll play some more and they'll be back to chat soon. Oh, what's this? You think I could use it in a performance or an action scene or something?
Speaking of Unarikami running, you guys are mean for editing him running in Subway Surfers.
Oh, did somebody do that already? Oh, that's actually fantastic. Oh yeah, because I guess there was a shot from behind. I keep thinking of the one where he's running toward the camera, and that'd be more of a Crash Bandicoot type of a thing. But that's fantastic. You know what? As long as nobody does the same thing they did with the Edgeworth sprite from the first Investigations game by having him run around at the Westminster Dog Show obstacle course. I'm gonna have to look that up. Has somebody posted that on Discord yet? So thank you very much for the 10 bits. That's fantastic. I think I could use it in a performance or an action scene or something. Oh, crap! It's to slowly turn into Yusuke. That'd be cool. I gotta keep the back of my throat open. It would. Sadly, I don't think it would be suitable for that.
Oh, that's a shame.
He seems genuinely disappointed. Okay, so that's what he says when he has nothing to say. There'll probably be a bunch of those, but that'll give me a chance to catch up on some chat. Let's see. Nora says, oh, Vero convinced me to watch Transformers 1. There you go. Look at that. See, you were just mentioning Vera. How'd you like Transformers 1?
Oh, I was thinking maybe I should give you one of those, but oh.
Yeah, turn IT into Yusuke voice might go to Yusuke.
No. He's no. He doesn't have the right vibe for Yusuke. Maybe somebody else. Maybe if we find the right person in the last section of this chapter of this case. But thank you very much for the 10 bits. I appreciate that, Oak. And also for not giving a boo at the end. I for a second I thought, crap, did I speak over the boo? But I looked over. There is no boo there.
But I guess you...
Crap, now I'm doing it. Gotta think the Cowardly Lion is what I'm trying to do, but I don't do a good impression of that.
Oh, I was thinking maybe I should give you one of those, but I guess you already have one.
Indeed we do. It's quite a concept. An enormous, fantastical monster fighting Gordy. Very out there.
Yeah, to tell you the truth, I kind of thought so too. Especially when I heard about their original plan. They were talking about trawling the lake for the real Gordy.
That would present problems on a number of levels. See, it's worth it.
Oh, so the Torosaurus head is broken, so the lot's been torn up by huge footprints. This production is running over budget as it is, and the Global Studios is risking a lot on this one. Sorry, I know this isn't the right time to be talking about money. People are dead.
It's fine. I'm gonna be honest, I run into dead people a lot. It's a bit concerning, actually. We completely understand. The shoot has been thoroughly disrupted. This can't be easy for you.
Global Studios makes the Steel Samurai shows too, right? Oh, man! You know what that means, Mr. Edgeworth? If we don't solve this case soon, you can kiss the Steel Samurai goodbye.
As if we weren't under enough pressure already. I'm going to be honest. I didn't care so much if the child died, but if my favorite television program gets cancelled. All right, dead president. He has nothing to say about a dead president. So move on to other things as we read some more in the chat. On this same comment he said before about the production being behind. Vera says, hi. Oak says, Vero. Nora says, oh, by the way, I started watching Death Note. Logan, I thought you'd like to know, because Death Note is fantastic. Well, Death Note is 2/3 of a fantastic series. About 2/3 of the way in, there will be an episode where you're going to realize, like, I kind of don't care what happens anymore. And you kind of don't. I mean, the ending is still great, but, like, the last little stretch just doesn't... It loses something, but it's such a great series. Cypher says, Logan knowing what Dexter is does not surprise me in the slightest. Well, here's the thing, Cypher. I've actually read a couple of the Dexter books. I've only seen a little bit of the TV show. I was just thinking earlier today, I probably ought to watch it. I hear that John Lithgow is really good when he joins the cast later on. Queekitty says, hey, Vero, I also got here just now. Nora says, bye-bye, Batty Verity. I love your K-voice because she's back in business. I'm glad you enjoy it, Nora. Thank you very much. All right,
Hey, that's the original Torosaurus, right? These things were super popular 10 years or so back. Is this one of the ones with a voice recorder built in?
Wait, that's like what the toy actually had? I thought that was something that the president did because he's paranoid. They actually sold toys with hidden recording devices. It is indeed a function that saved my skin only a short while ago.
Oh, dang, one of the horns is missing.
It is. Does that mean anything to you? Oh, is it gonna be like the other horn contains another recording or something?
Oh, only that there should be two. But I guess it's over a decade old. These things happen, huh?
Do they? I suppose they do if the build quality is...
Steel Samurai merchandise will never break like that. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna prove it. I'm gonna go to Mr. Edgeworth's office and start smashing his toys.
My thoughts exactly, but I guess not everybody can be the Steel Samurai. Anything more? Oh, maybe you can say that this is him in the photo.
Feels like you're right there behind the scenes, doesn't it, huh? This has been such a great shoot. Everybody's so into it. Cast, crew, everybody. Sure, it's not always been easy, but we keep smiling through it all. What an atmosphere.
It's probably something where you long press to record like you have a personalized message and they're not 24/7 recording.
I mean, probably, but that still is a weird thing. I mean, I could see like a toy having things like, and then it records a message. But a hidden device. That's weird. That is a little odd. But then again, this universe is weird. But thank you so very, very much for the 10 bits, Vero. I appreciate that. I should probably have a sip of water and read some more of the chat. Even though we've accomplished nothing in the game so far, we're almost an hour into stream, but I'm just very far behind already. Let's see, Oak says, my computer is already so much faster with the new install of Windows on this drive. Nora says, there are gay Transformers. Transformers can do anything people can do. And more. Queen Gator says, aw, thank you. Nora with an emote. Nora says to Oak, have you been able to edit clips? Queen Gator with a bunch of emotes. Cypher says, lol. Nora says, burn my bread. The official lyrics. Oak says, like, I'm copying 1 terabyte of files at like 100 millibytes a second and have like 20 Firefox tabs open. I'm downloading like 100 things at once and my computer is not even slowing down at all. Only 20 Firefox tabs? I'd be surprised if I have fewer than 1,000. If it is fewer, definitely over 800 tabs. I'm just saying. Oak says, bro, I just got my computer fixed an hour ago. I haven't downloaded Premiere yet. And Nora says, oh, well, you need to like sometime before Wednesday. And then Vero with the lurk. Thank you for the lurk, Vero. Cypher says, P3FES OP reload version is amazing. And Vera said, gonna go brush my teeth. Enjoy it. Enjoy the sensation of cleansed tooths. Vero. Over on YouTube, Dermo says, actually, a hologram could work. I mean, if Miku can have concerts, Mickey can walk around Disneyland. I did see like a video like years ago of some new technology they did where they did animatronic with like full lip sync, where they had like a person in the suit, but then backstage, like watching in cameras or someone, they had someone voicing Mickey Mouse and like it lip synced. I don't know if it was like automatic or if they had someone like puppeteering it as well, but it looked really cool because that's one of the weird things about Disneyland. It's like, hey, here's Mickey Mouse. Yeah, you know how Mickey Mouse talks in the cartoons? Can't talk now. Like everybody, if they're in like a fuzzy suit, like a cartoon suit, so not like the princes and princesses and stuff, but they're just suddenly unable to speak. It's kind of weird. Valtube says, I love Will Powers. I love that Steel Samurai case. Everyone in it except for Wendy Oldbag and Salmonella. And that one lady. Okay, I love Penny Nichols and I like Will Powers. Maybe the rest of them are varying degrees of awful. Derma said, Death Note was the first anime I watched. Me and my friends binged the entire series in 2 days. Reevaluation hits so much harder. 3 a.m. sleep deprived. It is, I don't know if I could handle doing that series that quickly. I feel like I need decompression from some of it, but it's such a good show. Let's see. Okay, let's play some more game. Let's play some more game now.
Sure, it's not always been easy, but we kept smiling right through it all. What an atmosphere. And now, this. How did this happen?
There's not much we can do right now about the facts that shooting has been suspended. But if we can solve the case, maybe there's a chance the movie can get back on schedule. Another reason to do what we came here to do. I present more stuff. Bike lock. Nothing to say about bike lock on the fence. And so I'll read some more in the chat while we're waiting on this. Nora says, we're running out of shorts. Oak says, I know I'm gonna get fixed tomorrow and edit a few more. It takes so long to edit. As I said, I'm getting behind. I think I only have shorts edited through like Tuesday. I'm halfway through Wednesdays, but I usually try to stay like a week ahead. Cypher says, ew, taxes. Nora says, okay. And Quigata says, power of my quote archive. Oh, so you're able to pull up the Mitsuru. You're making me doubt myself good. I doubt you too. How is that spreadsheet? Was it a spreadsheet or wasn't that what it was? A spreadsheet, an Excel document or something like that? How's it coming along? Nora says, Mitsuru with hearts. Kay is so whimsical. Guess who's staying all stream? Is it because it's summertime? Is it my favorite brat summer? So we'll be back, Will Powers. I just want to talk to everybody else first. A very good day to you, sir. Prosecutor Edgeworth, sir. Huh? I'm not a prosecutor anymore. But he doesn't need to know that, I guess. Now watch Kate. He's not a prosecutor anymore. Good day to you, officer. Can I ask why you've been posted here? Me? Oh, I'm just keeping an eye on things. Excellent. Then perhaps you can tell me if any vehicles come in or out of here this morning. None except the taxi and that blue truck over there, sir. Only 2 vehicles came in or out. That could be useful to know. So obviously we're gonna want to check out the blue truck, but let's talk to taxi cab. You gotta get out, go move over here, Kay. Don't block the bro. And because he's driving a taxi, he's gonna be Shuichi Saihara. Hey, ho, hey there, pal. Hey, white long face, huh? Thank you, toilet duck. I will save because I'm a good trained Pavlovian dog. I do what I am told. But yeah, we're doing Shuichi Saihara voice for this guy. Oh, hey there, pal. Hey, white long face, huh? Hey, ever think you ought to maybe lighten up a little? Did you take on any passengers here this morning? Does a witch wear a pointy hat? You bet I did. Hey, just the one fare, mind you. And who was the passenger? It was 2 guys. Head on black suits, real sharp looking. So they were probably 2 of the presidential bodyguards or people working with Lang. Did they have a boy with him? This boy! Nah, like I said, it was just the 2 of them. All right, never mind. Thank you for your help. You need to follow up and make sure that both of them were grown people and neither of them were 2 kids stacked on their shoulders. That probably happens a lot in cartoonish universes. I thought we might be onto something here, but no luck. 2 men. They took a taxi from the big building. They didn't have a child with them, but they're hoping to adopt soon. Bloop. All right, what else can we check? Are we checking the blue truck? Blue truck. Sean! Sean! Where are you, Sean? Ever since I came out of the vault, I haven't been able to find my son, Sean! You in here? No sign of him here either. Huh?
In Shuichi's voice, just the 2 of them. They can make it if they try, just the 2 of them.
Yeah, just the 2 of them. They can make it if they try, just the 2 of them. Hey, now I'm gonna go run over some hookers. Thank you very much for the 10 bits, Vero. I appreciate that. And for those who haven't played Danganronpa V3, that's a thing in the game. You run over hookers with a taxi. But it's okay because it helps you solve murders. It's fine. Nor if you ever continue the Danganronpa series, you have that to look forward to in V3. Running over hookers and taxi cabs.
Cotton thought the basket on the back of the truck there looked suspicious.
She's not wrong, it does. I'm pointing at it.
What are you doing, Mr. Edgeworth? Why is your finger moving like that? Why is it wobbling? It seems very cartoony. It reminds me of Dracula from Hotel Transylvania's dancing. Why are you touching the truck?
The engine's cold, which means it's been here for a while. Okay, that's actually kind of smart.
No way, you can tell just from that.
And if it's been parked here a while, I guess the driver might not be nearby either. We don't really have time to stand around waiting until they get back. Blue truck data jotted out of my organizer. Parked in front of the big building. Driver is nowhere to be found. Okay, see, that's something else we can present to Will Powers. Anything there? Anything there? Can we look at little bird statues? Little birdie. What was that? Something happened.
Hey Alonga, I am having my first subscription, baby. I am naming IT Rufus. Everyone say hi, Rufus.
Hi, Rufus.
It's been so fun being here for 9 months. Thank you so much for bringing this much joy to me and so many others. The community you have cultivated is amazing.
It's amazing. We love you, Longa Heart. Thank you so much, Oak. Thank you so much for re-upping your sub. Happy first subscription, baby. 9 months of subs. And Rufus is an excellent name. If you ever go back and watch, there's an old stream where I played some Dungeons and Dragons for an Extra Life fundraiser thing, and my character's name was Rufus. I like that name. I've been a fan of it ever since the first time I played Final Fantasy VII of Rufus Shinra. So I approve of that name, Rufus. And wasn't it also, wasn't that George Carlin's character in the old Bill and Ted movies? I think his name was Rufus. It's an underused name, so I appreciate that. Thank you very much for re-upping the sub. Okay, I should read some more in the chat because I'm already behind. Let me first of all click on something so you have something more interesting to look at than just Edgeworth standing here. There. Let's see, I gotta read some in the chat. Cypher says, Yatagarasu was the messenger for Amaterasu, actually. I'm trying to think where I've heard Amaterasu. I feel like that's a Naruto thing for some reason. Maybe. Nora says, y'all, can we take a moment to appreciate Azumi Takahashi? She's so good at singing. Who is that? Is that who does the Persona songs? And Nora with the lurk. Thank you for the lurk, Nora. Nora says, Will Powers. Cyrus says, Freaky. Queen said, well, y'all know who's the next name. Fact lol, huh?
Persona 4?
Well, wait. Is that who Persona 4 is? Persona 4 is Azumi Takahashi? Or is that a character in it? I don't remember Azumi Takahashi. I need to Google this. Hang tight, everybody. Lurkers, don't leave or unlurk. I'm just seeing this. Azumi Takahashi. Yeah, musical artist. Yeah, because Nora said, good voice. Born in Norakura Highland, Nagato, Japan, moved to Tokyo. Okay, where's this? Oh, okay, yeah, she did Persona 3 music. Because I'm seeing a bunch of that showing up on her songs list. Huh?
Is it canon that every security guard in Ace Attorney has the same voice, or is it all the same person, even when it's multiple guards in a room? Boo.
Ah, okay, there was a long pause. For a second, I thought maybe you just were being nice to me and stopped doing the boos. You know what? It'd be fun if they were all the same person. That voice we originally gave to Mike Meekins, who I don't think you've met in Ace Attorney yet. And I think I just eventually, it's like, you know what? All the other security guards and bailiffs and police officers, they're just gonna have the same voice because I'm tired of coming up with other stuff for it. So maybe they are all like clones of Mike Meekins, that he's like a mogwai and he got wet and just like birthed them from his body. Huh?
Onater Suizukiko's Persona.
Oh, maybe that's where I remember it from. I still feel like it's a Naruto thing. So I'm actually gonna Google one more thing. I will be back to the game. Amaterasu? Yes, it is a Naruto thing. It's a Sasuke Uchiha Naruto thing. Amaterasu is a Mangekyou Sharingan Dojutsu and the highest level of fire release. Okay, so there, it is a thing. So thank you very much for the 10 bits, both of you, and the TTSs. Let's get back to the game, and then I'll read some more in the chat soon. So we're looking at the bus. I thought we were looking at the open doorway there, which I suppose probably just leads over to the film set, to the gate. This bus must be for moving the cast and crew around during filming. I believe they call it a sight bus. Well, it sure is a sight for sore eyes. I wonder what this line was in Japanese, because I doubt that, like, for sight, like seeing, and sight, like a location, or a homonym there. Sight bus, bright bus, super out of sight bus, 3, 2, 1, gonna drive you through the night bus. I just made that up. Maybe my true calling is as a singer with just that one song. Come on, little sight bus, get your motor running. You're the type of bus that I'm gonna have a lot of fun in. But I don't know what kind of fun, because I'm still underage, and I don't know what happens when buses are a-rockin', because I don't come a-knockin'. I certainly wouldn't say no to a nice, peaceful bus ride home right now. That was weird. I mean, I guess fun and whimsical, but weird. Okay, I can't look at the orange cones. What if I go around the other side, walk past? Oh, I can't get past him. Can I look at this thing, though? Little plaque or the map or whatever it is. It's a map of the area around the Big building. Let's take a closer look. Oh, wow, this is very detailed. So we got the Big building, we got Sunshine Station, or Sunset Station, Sunshine Coliseum. Wait, is that the Coliseum that we went to in previous games? Are these locations from other games? Sunrise, everything's sunny. Dusk Street. Is the city that they live in, it's just sun-themed? We got Sunrise Hall, Daybreak Dump, Sunshine Harbor, Sunshine Coliseum, Mornington Park, Days End Mall, Sundown Sanitation Plant, and then the Big building. Big building, you're the one here that's not like the other. You're the one that doesn't belong, Big building. Let's just go around, start clicking everything, starting Sunshine Harbor. There's a garbage processing facility right next to the fishing port here. Do they process garbage they pull out of the sea or something? I guess they might. I doubt that's all they deal with. So what else? Like garbage that washes up on the shore? Shells and fish bones and stuff? Well,
Well, who throws that stuff in there in the first place, huh? They should be ashamed of themselves. Did they ever hear of recycling? Whenever I see fish bones, I recycle them into a new fish. You can make earrings, necklaces, and fish. Yeah.
Let's maybe talk about this another time, shall we, Kay? So that was kind of pointless. Sunrise Hall is nothing. Okay, Sunshine Coliseum. The Sunshine Coliseum. They hold all kinds of events here.
Yeah, I wanted to go to the World Thief Symposium, but they canceled it this year because everybody got arrested. It was so cool. Thieves from all over the planet all gathered in one place. In retrospect, I think it was a honeypot operation. I mean, there was that thing where they arrested pretty much everybody who attended, I guess. I was right. I was just joking, but there was that thing where they arrested everybody. But other than that, it was pretty cool. And some people did say the whole thing was just a trap set by the police.
It's great. And yet you still wanted to go? Well, she probably didn't know beforehand that it was a trap set by the police. You know what, this is, I can tell this is gonna take a while, so I am gonna read some more in the chat. Let's see. Cypher said, oh, I read that. Quiggy said, you know what? I'm gonna post what I mean by Bald Katie in the Discord. Hee. Cypher says, been good, working on a YouTube video. Working title is Persona 3 Reload Lost the Original's Vision. It's a documentary video on how I believe the original Persona 3 and FES versions had better and more solid cinematography and vision than Reload. Nora said, I'm about to open Animal Crossing for the first time in probably a year. All your friends, they'll have figured you dead. I once went about 6 months without playing it. And yeah, even my best friend Tangy is like, wow, I thought you were dead or something. And then I stopped playing again. I miss them, but I don't want to disappoint them. They're better off with me dead. My home is overrun by cockroaches, I'm sure. Cypher says, still working on the script. Hee-ho! And Cypher, the Hydrate Command. Thank you very much, Cypher. Even though I took just a sip, I will now hydrate fully. Thank you. And we have a pinned message on Twitch. This is written by Queen Katie, pinned by Vera, said, please pin. I have a list of fan translation version of this map incoming. Oh, awesome! Oh, I'm looking forward to that. Let me take a look over on YouTube. Derma says, correction, Revelations instead of revaluations. Okay, Revelations hit so much harder at 3 a.m. sleep deprived. Said, solve the murders, ... by committing murders. Rufus was the name of an American nuclear core. Oh, but that's Rufus with an AS. I don't know why they gave such a deadly object such a, bienal, is that supposed to be banal name? Well, I guess it depends. You know what I think are interesting is when names get used for different reasons and it kind of changes it. Like if you ever take a look at Old Testament stuff, they have the character Nimrod the Hunter, and it's supposed to be this like powerful hunter named Nimrod, right? But then after Bugs Bunny started calling people, hey, what a Nimrod. Suddenly it's like, it sounds like a dumb thing, and people can't take that name seriously anymore. Dermot says they learned their lesson with Demon Core, an apt description for it. I remember Demon Core memes. Toshi says Sunrise Coliseum from the last case in AA4. Okay, so it is the same Coliseum. The one that the Grammary was at, and the whole concert and everything. Yes, awesome. Derma says, last case in AA4 is underrated, in my opinion. Cool structure. It was good. There are things I was sad about, but it was good. It was good. I wasn't as sad about the ending I wasn't as sad about that as the ending to Dual Destinies. That one kind of broke me. Oh, and we have a pin message. Maybe this is going to be the first name fact. Again, written by Queen Katie. Pinned by Vero said, instead of Daybreak Dump, it was Dawn Waste Center. Sundown Sanitation Plant was Dusk Waste Management. Days End Mall was Prime Mall. Mornington Park was Rising Sun Park. Sunrise Hall is Earl Bright City Hall. Earl Bright? So is that like the name of it? And so that's, wait. So Sunrise Hall was Earl Bright City Hall. Sunset Station is Twilight Station. Ooh, that's a cool name. And finally, Dusk Street is Sunset Avenue and Dawn Street is Dawning Street. So I'm assuming that these are for the unofficial fan translation, right? So I'm guessing that in Japanese, they all had to have something to do with like times of the day. Huh?
Logan Ray Prime Mall. Logan Ray Prime Mall. Logan Ray
Prime Mall.
Logan Ray
Prime Mall.
Logan Ray
Prime Mall.
Logan Ray
Prime Mall.
Churton.
Thank you so much for the 10 bits, Vero, and for using our wonderful Optimus Prime emote. I feel like it's underused mainly because it's harder to get. But thank you very much. Here's something I've noticed, though. Take a look at this. Because the way that they're all about suns, in the east is where the sun rises, and in the west is where the sun sets. Sun rises in the east, sets in the west. So in the east, we have sunshine, daybreak, sunrise. Then over here in the west where the sun sets, we have dusk, sunset. Wait, why is dawn? Oh, Dawn Street runs all the way across. That is bullcrap. Dawn Street, but then sundown. Sundown, sunset, dusk, and stupid Dawn Street. Dawn should have been like Sunshine Street, and this should have been like Dawn Harbor or something. Oh, they messed up. But thank you for the 10 bits, I appreciate that.
I don't really buy into all of that stuff. But they do say the light from the sun in the morning gives you more wrinkles, right? Do they? And why are we talking about this? Why do you think? Because they called it Morning Tad Park. I can't read. Oh, is it
Why
Ace?
does big building look like Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated?
Doofenshmirtz
Fine,
Evil
face emoji.
Incorporated. Well, it is, huh?
Hey, cool down on Dawn, that's my mom's name. She's awesome. Bo.
Oh, it's just Bo. Well, thank you. Okay, first of all, thank you both for the 10 bits. Addressing these in order. The one thing it's missing, but it does look alike. The one thing it's missing, the one section of the building that's like offset from the others, because you know it has like the few floors that are off to the side. But other than that, absolutely, it kind of does. I hadn't really noticed it, but you made a good point. I still, are any of the episodes of the Phineas and Ferb revival out yet? I keep seeing like little clips, but I don't know if they're from full episodes that have been released, or if they're just teasers that have come out. But thank you so much for the 10 bits there. And you're right. Okay, and you know what, Oak? I'm sure your mom is a delightful person. I'm sure she is wonderful. But you need to tell her to get her street in order, because her street is not doing well. Her street should not run east to west if it's gonna be called Dawn. That is unacceptable. But thank you both for the 2 sets of 10 bits.
Why do you think? Because they call it Morning Tad Park.
Oh, and also, that was Wendy. Welcome back, Wendy. Is your phone more charged up now? I'd certainly like to be basking in the morning sunshine without a care in the world right now. I wouldn't. When the morning sunshine is out, I'd rather be sleeping. Maybe in a sunset. I'm more of a sunset guy than a sunrise guy. Okay, so we already got Coliseum, the park. The Days End Mall is nothing. Sundown Sanitation Park. We're so far between the dump and the sanitation park.
The Sundown Sanitation Plant. What do they make cleaning products there or something?
Sadly not. I think they just incinerate all the garbage the trucks bring back. They don't even recycle it. They destroy it so no one can ever use it again. By the way, Kay, you seem a little antsy.
Oh, it's nothing. Hey, did you see up the other corner of the map? There's another garbage facility.
Indeed there is. I imagine it probably fulfills a slightly different function. So maybe it's gonna be because the sanitation plant and the dump are so far apart, it's gonna mean that a dump truck was involved somehow in the kidnapping. That maybe somebody hijacked a dump truck, was like, I'm just going from the dump to take the trash to be incinerated. Oh, I'm gonna stop here and kidnap a kid. Thank you for the kid. All right, let's incinerate the trash and maybe the kid too. Hey, wow, kids burn really well. Huh, maybe they are the renewable source of energy we needed all along. People, start making kids and we will just burn them for fuel. Hooray, environmentalism wins, the earth is saved. There seems to be quite a few facilities in the area.
Yeah, the place is littered with them.
Okay, high 5K. That is a good pun. I'm sure that there wasn't that pun in Japanese, but that's a good pun. Really? That's what you were so excited about? Oh, a third-rate pun. It was a good one. It's better than Chairman's. Huh?
A dump truck was involved with a murder. Hey, don't go around accusing my backside.
Oh, I did not. Oh, hang on.
Boo.
Ah, I didn't know you had a dump truck. I do not have a dump truck. I was thinking maybe I ought to start adding more like leg day exercises to my workout routine. I kind of don't do a lot of it because I think I told you before, the reason why I go to the gym to like build up strength, it's mostly to be able to do Ninja Warrior type obstacles, which are mostly like upper body strength, you know, like hanging from things. And if my legs are heavier, that's just extra weight for me to carry. but it'd probably look better if I had. But then again, what does it matter if I look good or not? I'm not getting any ladies. But thank you very much, Oak, for the 10 bits. I do appreciate that. Really, that's what you were so excited about? A third-rate pun. I'm excited, Edgeworth. You need to be more supportive of your daughter's puns. Her pun game is on point. Okay, so Dusk Street intersects with Dawn Street. Oh, this isn't the movie thing. I guess that's just in a lot down here next to it. This is Sunset Station. It's a train station? Maybe a subway station? Let's check the big building first. Since Sunset Station is highlighted in yellow and is probably important. This is the big building itself, so that's where we are right now. I guess that maybe the map is highlighted like that because it's trying to tell people that are coming there, it's like, if you need to go take a train, there's where you go. Or a bus, I don't know what kind of public transit they use.
It's kind of cool looking, but I can't quite bring myself to like it.
I'm not surprised. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if you never wanted to come here again.
Hi, when this is all over, when we have the whole case wrapped up, can we do one act of terrorism and destroy the big building? Just one. Oh, what's that?
54 months of subscribing here. I want to let you know that I am honored that you let me be part of this community. Thank you for the Logan noises, the heartfelt advice. Thank you for giving us all a place to relax, mock you with your own words and together. Like I said before, like
Chicken meat. Make sure you consume as much chicken meat as you
Oh
possibly
man,
can.
I miss Danganronpa too.
What are you talking about? If you want muscles, you must consume chicken. Chicken is low in calories and high in protein.
What's interesting about this is before I had the microphone, so the audio
No
sucks.
worries then.
But you can also tell
Enjoy
us...
your meal.
You can also tell us back when I was kind of afraid to be too loud. Because, what if the neighbors hear me? Now I'm just, loud like crazy. I was trying to be screaming as him. I think we later changed his voice to be more of a Jimmy Stewart type of a thing. But I miss Danganronpa V3. So thank you, whoever did the Logan clip roulette. I appreciate that. And don't worry, Nora, that was non-spoilers, Danganronpa stuff. I gotta read some more in the chat, though. Let's see. Nora says, oh, Logan, people have been really liking my Danganronpa clips and even watching the VODs. I'm so happy about it. That's what, jump-started my community, so keep at it. You ought to keep playing Danganronpa. I still want to play 100 Line. I just don't know when. Oh, that's another game that I should have added to the list of games I'm considering next on Discord. Nora says, Will, Quick said, but what if P4R ends up being a good refresh if it comes out before you finally tackle the P4 spin-offs? That's a good question. I'll have to think about that. I'll have to consider things. Oak said, my family had a big gathering today and I spent most of it hanging out with my nephew. Apparently he actually likes me. He's 5.5. Aw. Vera says, I return. Welcome back, Vero. Oak says, Vero. Vera says, Oak. Cyber says, sardines are meh. Caviar is better. I have never had either. Sardines I've had the opportunity for, but caviar I probably never will have a chance. Also, it just seems slimy and a little bit weird, but I guess it's a fancy food. Oak said, my nephew made me grab all the pillows in the house and put them on the couch to make a pillow throne. He loves gorillas. Ooh. Kugeta said, also, Will Powers was the last name fact on my list for a good long while, according to my guide. So that would make me think that we've met pretty much all the suspects we're gonna meet. So who can the killer be? Unless the killer could be Sean? Maybe we could have a kid killer? That is a kid who is a killer. Again, not a killer of kids. Maybe it actually is Verity? I don't know. Nora says to Oak, your nephew is based. Oh, and there we go. I don't know if Little Frost is still there over on YouTube, but I got to the point in the Twitch chat where people are wishing happy birthday. Oak says happy birthday to you. Vera says happy birthday to you. Oak says happy birthday to you. Nora says happy birthday to you. Oak says happy birthday. Little Frost, happy birthday to you. Cypher says happy birthday to you. Vera says happy birthday, dear Little Frost. And then a happy birthday to you. And a pin message pinned by Rukov, written by Rukov, says our community was kickstarted when Chris Turgliafera rated Logan to the party as 70 and Wendy threatened them to stay. I do have to say a correction. I wish it was a party of 70. It wasn't quite that. It was like around 40 people, a little over 40. But it was still a lot. And like we made a ton of friends. I keep wanting to like see if I can run into him at a convention and just thank him profusely for that. There was a nearby convention once that he was at, I think last year, but I wasn't able to go to it, unfortunately. I did scheduling stuff. But yes, that is the lore of how things happen. It is all thanks to Chris Turgliafera, the voice of my favorite character in Danganronpa 2, Gundam Tanaka, and also the voice of Abdal in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and other characters as well. Like he was in Danganronpa V3 as well as Ryoma. But anyway, let's play some game, and I'll be back to the chat very soon. Oh, I gotta click a thing over here. Hang on. There we go. Let's play some game.
Hey, when this is all over, when we have the whole case wrapped up, can we maybe come here just for fun? We can bring Gummy too!
Oh, I want Edgeworth to hang out with Gumshoe outside of work.
You don't let the past drag you down, do you? It's an admirable quality, I guess, huh?
It's crazy how long ago that was. Crying face emoji. Time has flown so much, and you've grown so much since then. I'm like a proud grandma dog.
Oh, I'm just proud grandma dog. That makes it more adorable because dogs are fantastic. I know that was in 2021. It is, and I think it was like around May-ish. No, May is I think when we began Danganronpa, so it was like a little bit after that. It might have been June or July. It was mid 2021, so it's been about 4 years. That is crazy. But I am so grateful for that raid because that raid led to me making so many friendships on here. And I love all of you. Y'all are fantastic. Thank you very much for the 10 bits, Wendy. I appreciate it. All right, but again, I should play some game. We're like halfway through the stream and I've done nothing. But I also just appreciate you guys hanging out and chatting with me.
Let's think about that later, shall we, Kay? The case isn't over just yet.
Oh, but also just one other thing to what you said, Wendy, like about me growing. I do appreciate that because like I do look back on old streams and I feel like I've improved and grown as a streamer since then, kind of found my voice and my groove. But also part of me is like, did I really? Or am I just like thinking I did and I'm still that not good at it, you know? But so I really appreciate that. That means a lot to me. Your kind words mean the world to me. So thank you, Wendy.
We can't afford to start making plans for when it's done. No, fine. Let's hurry up and solve this little mystery, shall we?
Sunset Station. Oh, wait, we can't click Sunset Station? That's like a whole thing here. I want to click it anyway.
There's nothing of interest here. Certainly not a station of some sort.
Great. Good to know that you can tell that Mornington Park is more important than Sunset Station. It looks like that's everything. So, okay, let's save again because we are halfway through the stream. Let me take a look at the puzzle pieces in my brain. We're gonna talk to Will Powers, present our newest piece of evidence to him, and then chat him up and see if he has any new bits and bobbles to deliver to us. So what we got? 3 footprints, 3 giant cloven hoof-shaped imprints were found at the scene. 2 men, they took a taxi from the Big building. They didn't have a child with them. Only a taxi and blue truck have been through the plaza this morning. So we might be putting these 2 things together to say that only those 2 people, they were the only 2 people that left by vehicle, that anyone else who left must have done so on foot. Or like that in a way that was hidden. But let's talk to Will Powers some first. First, we got to present our last couple of new pieces of just one new piece of evidence to him. You like a truck? You like trucks? He doesn't have anything to say about trucks. Darn it. Cypher says, oh, but I celebrate my 17th birthday. I'll still be here. It'll be October 17th. I guess it'll just depend on what day of the week it is. I hope you'll still be here. Then we'll sing you happy birthday as well. Oak says, oh, hey, I'm 17. Cypher said, yeah, the Teddy stuff was translation issues. I blame the EN localization. Oak says, wrong, Logan. We aren't low-key obsessed with Vero. Okay, that is fair. We all do very much love Vero. I heard you. Oh, I heard you were investigating this one, Mr. Edgeworth. Well, yes, but I'm not the prosecutor in charge, of course. But if you're her assistant, I guess this is her case. No, that's simply, I can see you're an intelligent man. You're right, of course. I'm in charge of this one. Don't encourage her. Why not? You need to encourage today's youth in their ambitions. All right, I'll need you to give me straight answers. Whenever I talk to old Milesy McGay over here, it's gay answers. I don't mind that he's gay. It's just that is an accurate description of him. I did not mean that in any negative connotations. First of all, this case. Have you noticed anything weird? Perhaps you could give me your impressions. Is that supposed to sound like me? My impressions. I guess my main concern is, no offense to the victim and all, but it's all over for the production. Are we done? I can't help but worry. I think it's probably safe to assume that you are, at least for now. Right. Oh, I knew it. What a bummer. We don't have the location for much longer either. Because you were due to finish shooting soon? No, because they are due to start building. That lot won't be empty for long. Oh, maybe it's going to be Sunshine Station. Maybe that's what's going to be built there? They were letting us use it while they got it ready to make start. I guess the plan was to shoot the rest on a lot back at Global Studios. Yeah, they're gonna just green screen the rest of it. I've been so worried about everything. What with people spreading all these rumors too. Rumors? Yeah, this journalist keeps coming around crap. It's gonna be Lotta Hart. Either that or Spark Brushel. Wait, no, because Spark Brushel was... Wait, which game was he? Was he Apollo Justice? Or is he... I think we haven't... He didn't exist yet. Oh, there's a pin message on Twitch from Rukov saying, Night chat. Remember, Logan, you may be an entertainingly lonely guy, but you're our lonely guy. And you aren't as bad as Ted from Scrubs. I remember Ted from Scrubs. You know, that's a low bar to clear, but I'm glad I cleared it. So thank you very much, Rukov. Get some sleep. Good night. Rest well. I'm sure you have an early morning tomorrow. Let me take a look over on YouTube real quick. And Derma says, you playing 100 Line is a horrifying prospect? On the one hand, it's a great game. On the other, it could take centuries. Well, I think I've decided before, if I do it, I'll probably just stick to like 3 playthroughs at most. I would do 1, because I guess your first playthrough is locked in what happens. So it's like, do 1 playthrough, boom. Then the second playthrough, I want to do it and just try and do what I want to choose on everything and just see how it pans out. And then the third one, I would try to do what I think I should do to try and get a good ending. And then after that, it'd probably be it. I think, maybe. How's that plan sound for those who are familiar with the game? Yes, the journalist keeps coming around. You've all been hiding real monsters on that set of yours. Y'all can't do that. I'm gonna expose y'all. She says y'all a lot. She's always saying stuff like that. I think I know exactly who this journalist might be. It could be Tabby Lloyd. Yeah, the photographer, right? I thought you maybe knew her. But you're not. Are you hiding real monsters? I mean... Are you kidding? If they had real monsters to call on, I'd be out of a job. And creature features! So, you've all been working hard on the movie? Yeah, it's the first time I've been on a reboot of an old series. This one's been a real challenge for me and everybody else over at Global Studios. If only they'd put this kind of energy into making a new Steel Samurai show or something. Oh! I feel like if they rebooted Steel Samurai, Edgeworth would nitpick all the changes. What role are you playing in this one? Okay, so we'll see my guess. I think he is Torosaurus. There we go. Me, I'm Torosaurus himself. Yeah, he's the suit actor. That's great. Let me read some more in the chat. Cypher says TikTok has been slandering him. Wait. Slandering who? Who is on the speaking of? I can't even tell what that's a response to. Was it Teddy? Who's TikTok been slandering? Vero says laughing. Oak said we are high-key obsessed with Vero. Cypher says, guys, check Persona chat. I'm gonna send something. Sounds like there's gonna be a lot of stuff on Discord for me to check after the stream. Queekity said, technically, Teddy learned some of the inappropriate things from Yosuke and his room, lol. He was semi-innocent before he moved out. I feel like as soon as he emerged from his cocoon, he was squirting his eye sparkles at Chie. He was hitting on the ladies. Oak said, they're the goat for real, for real. Vera said, waving to my gaggle of women, now gender neutral. Cypher says, exactly. Crystal says, we are pretty much high-key obsessed with Vero. Well, that's understandable. I don't know if you guys realize this. Vero is awesome. And Nora says, Crystal! Nora says, I mean, I haven't watched it yet, but I'm going to soon. Oak says, I legit forgot. Nora says, I drew Haley mainly to attempt shading with markers, but still. Queen Gator said, I don't know why, but this new sprite of Willpower's just makes him look a little older. Also, I just realized the man's beard is giving me Zhang Fa vibes now. Well, I could see that. And yeah, he does look a little bit older. I mean, I suppose a little time has passed. Maybe in like the last year or two, he's just lived a real hard life. Cyber says, Death Note, holy peak. Again, 2/3 of a great series. I won't say, and nobody else should say, because I think you know what happens about 2/3 of the way into the series, because that'd be major spoilers. But up to that, it is like an amazing show. After that, it's still good, but a little bit of the magic just isn't quite magicking. No way! So you're the star? Oh, well, not quite. I'm in a costume, see? My face won't ever appear on screen. Really? Still, that's pretty amazing. I wish I could wear a costume like that. I hope when he plays Torosaurus, he does the thing where, I remember seeing this video of one of the costume suit actors in the Godzilla type of movies, was this woman who, when she would roar, like have the monster roar, she would actually roar. And so there's behind the scenes footage where you can like hear all the audio on set, and you'll see this big monster, and it goes, rah, rah, and like in this adorable high-pitched woman's voice. It's great. Really? Still, that's pretty amazing. I wish I could wear a costume like that. Hey, do you think I could try it on sometime? I'd settle for just climbing inside one of the hordes. I'd love to say yes, but that's not how it works. You can't really climb inside that part. Oh, I get it. Because I'm an outsider, right? No, probably because the horns aren't hollow or something. That's not the issue at all here, Kay. And I can't do whatever you want. Sean Fenn, we're finally getting to the point here. We've been just making small talk while Gavel is like stalling like crazy in there. Can I ask you a couple of questions about Sean? While we're waiting for that, I'll read some more in the chat, though. Nora said, started watching for Oak's birthday, which was definitely not a month ago. Oak said Death Note is amazing, and then episode 26 to 36 is mid as F, and then the last episode is great again. If 26 is the one I'm thinking of, then yes, that is fair. Cyber says, I binged it in one note while playing a new Fortnite season. It was amazing, question mark. Oak says, although when I say mid, I mean literally mid, like 5 out of 10. Mid recently has begun to mean worse than 5 out of 10, I think. I just really don't care about the new characters. Same here. That was the thing. You get so late in the series, they introduce all these new characters, and they range from I don't care about this character to I actively am not enjoying when this character is on screen. It's not even like a character that you love to hate, but I don't want to see this character anymore type of a character. Nora said, Oak, are we watching Look Back next weekend? Oak says yes. Nora said maybe not Saturday because Saturday is protest day, but I feel free all day Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. Cyber says, Tatsuki Fujimoto, my goat. I love his works. I'm not sure who that. Is that the Chainsaw Man guy? Is that because you guys were talking about watching Look Back, right? Oak says, to Nora, we should probably do it on like a Friday then because I'm seeing my partner next Sunday and Monday. Cyber says, I only have the stream open on my computer. I have at least 500 AO3 tabs on my phone. Wow, I have like just under 100 tabs on my phone. Huh?
Would you say Light is more Yugi-esque or Kaiba-esque? Or is bro like Tristan or something?
Are we talking the character after, in Death Note? Because I'm trying to remember if you finished the whole series or not, Wendy. Oh, you were saying Light is more. Sorry, TTS Girl, I thought it said is like, and thought maybe we were talking about the character. We'd say Light is more Yugi-esque or Kaiba-esque, or is bro like Tristan or something. I would say, even though he's not, I would say Kaiba. Even though Kaiba's not the protagonist. Yes, I would call Light is definitely more Kaiba-coded. Thankfully, neither of them are Tristan. Tristan is one of the guys on the dad's police force. But yes, I would say Light is more Kaiba-esque. Do you agree, chat? Do you agree? Over on YouTube, Dermo says 3 playthroughs will still take like quite a while. That's okay. We've been playing this game here since wait, when did we start this one? No, December. We started this game in December, and it's now June. So we like to take our time with games. That's what we call Logan time here. Dermot says, I'm up for it though. Thanatos says, hello, I'm back. Welcome back, Thanatos. Dermot says, hi, Toast. Thanatos says, hi. The video was almost done, but my friend will do the rest, so it's time to rest. Are you gonna rest here like with us, or does that mean that you're taking off to leave and get some sleep? If you are leaving, have a good rest of your night. I hope you'll stick around here. Opinion says, anyone else getting buffering? Okay, I'm not getting any errors on the YouTube side of things. It still says excellent connection. So I hope it's just on your end. I mean, I'm sorry that you're experiencing it, but I hope it's not for everybody. Let me read a couple comments over here on Twitch. Oak says, I can't spoil Death Note for Nora, but episode 26 is way too late to introduce so many new characters that are so important, especially when the previous section was so great. It was. I mean, there was one part that I felt dragged on a little bit long, but other than that, it was so good. Cyber says, for real, it is oddly done. Oak says, maybe I would have been more okay with the new characters if they were actually shown before, but they just show up for the first time in episode 26 and take over the show. I think that's fair. The one character in particular, I think if he'd shown up much earlier, I think I've been more favorably disposed toward. When he said, finally found the one place at LAX with a charging station. Unlurk. Wow, LAX must suck then. I hate to say, but like every other airport I go to always has tons of charging stations. But I'm trying to think if have I been to LAX? If I have, it was probably only once. Nora says, it's Maya Faye Brat Summer. Did you see I posted that TikTok, I think yesterday? Queegita said, yup, it's Google Spreadsheet. I'm doing the command every now and then to go grab more, and just went over the old VODs from 2 weeks back for some today yesterday. You are like so diligent with your work. Good on you, Queen Katie. When he said, also Logan, I hope you know that I had my phone volume all the way up and your voice just blasted everyone around the gate. I am so sorry for everyone there, for everyone involved. I hope I wasn't shouting any inappropriate things. Because like obviously I don't curse, but I might have been talking about, you know, I don't know, child endangerment or something like that. But thank you very much, Wendy. Nora said to Wendy, oh my gosh. Wendy said, Shuichi mention. Oh crap, was I talking about hitting hookers with taxis when it went out? Cypher says no. Nora says I question mark. Cypher says question mark. Vera said yeah, Danganronpa is weird. That is not an exaggeration. There's a mini game where one of the characters drives a taxi and runs over hookers to figure out things. That is a thing that happens. They never refer to them as hookers, but they're like silhouettes of women that are like this. And then when you hit them with the car, they make a, like, I try to remember, do they make a, is that when they make the kissing sound? Like, oh, or something like that. They're obviously, and it looks like it's like a Las Vegas kind of strip that you're driving around. So yeah, Nora says, Taviro, is You Know What on Netflix yet? I don't know what you guys talking about. I should play some more of the game though. Can I ask you a couple of questions about Sean? Sean, oh sure, Penny told me what happened. He just disappeared, right? Yeah, sounds like him. Does he disappear a lot or does he get kidnapped a lot? I mean, he's famous, so maybe it happens a lot. He is just a little guy that needs to drink more milk. He's small for his age. It's probably very easy for someone to just like, yoink, put into a van and just, phew. Does he do that a lot? Yeah, kinda. If we take 5 mid-shoot, you look around sometimes and he's just gone. Do you have any idea where he might be headed off to? Sorry, no. I did see him leaving the set though. Ah, you did? Huh?
Yeah, Logan, make the sound. Make the kissing sound the hookers make when you hit them with your car. Mwah.
This feels like a trap. But you know what? Traps aren't fun if they're left unsprung. Oh, something like that. I don't know. I can't do a lady noise going like, oh. Is that sort of a thing? But thank you very much for the 10 bits. Oh, and there's something being held by Automod. Is being held for the word okayers. Oak tried to type the word hookers and left a space between ho and ookers. And Twitch took more of a problem with ookers than with ho, apparently. So I got to click allow to allow the word ookers. Oh no, it was only the second half was highlighted, so there wasn't a space. For some reason, it made it look like there was a space. Anyway, there's no background sound, so I should get to the point where there's some background music. Otherwise, all of our lurkers, because I'm assuming they only come here for video game background music, will abandon us in droves. Where was he headed?
He got on the site bus. I was checking some equipment over, and by the time I looked back, he was gone.
The site bus. I wonder if he left any clues behind. Do you mind if we take a look inside the bus, Mr. Powers?
Sure, you'll have to excuse the mess, though. Lots of cocaine. Lots of it. Many of the people working on the set were involved in the film industry in the 80s.
All right, let's see what we can find. So yeah, we're out of here. Stand aside. Oh, he did step aside. Oh, thank you for stepping aside. I'm kissing you because I love the Steel Samurai. Okay, you can never tell that man about this. All right, can we look at the junk down here first? There's an array of filming equipment here. Are you getting ready to shoot something?
Oh no, nothing scheduled for today at this location. It's just a case has gone missing.
Case? What is he talking about?
Yeah, all that stuff is normally stored inside a large case.
Is it large enough to hide a child in? Say a small for his age 13-year-old boy. Because if so, I think I know where the case is.
But I look away for 5 minutes and it's wandered off somewhere.
Sounds like there's a thief around here. What exactly was taken?
Just the case, as far as I can tell.
Stolen case. Stolen from next to the site bus. Its contents were left behind. We should go back and ask the taxi driver if the two people that used the taxi had luggage.
Why only take that? Why, even though in the last case that we had, there was a whole thing about bodies being hidden in containers? I would have been more interested in what was inside it myself.
I guess whoever took it must have needed the case more than its contents. Did they need to put something in it? Can I look at the cones? Oh, I can't even walk around the cones. Oh. All right, let's take a look at the... I want to look inside. There we go, look inside the van. Where would Sean have been sitting?
Sean? Oh, that's his seat with the backpack on it.
There's something poking out of it. A videotape. Oh, who was it? Who was it earlier that was saying you never seen a VHS tape? There's one right there. There's a VHS tape right there. They're not usually blue da-boo-dee-da-boo-da, but there you go. We're educating y'all. A videotape?
Oh, we use these when we're shooting. Why would Sean have one?
Was there something he wanted to record? This could be a clue, or something that was recorded that he wanted destroyed, such as incriminating evidence of his mom committing a murder. Do you have a way for us to check what's on the tape?
Sure, there's a couple of monitors set up right over there. All right, hitting play.
All right, let's see what it is. See if there's anything incriminating on this. It's Sean. Is he rehearsing his lines? It's like he's about to do a musical number. Okay, so this, before we even watch anything, a couple things we can glean. Number one, the footprints were left before he left the night before. I feel like that's gonna be important. This is probably when, it was either Penny or Lotta said they saw Sean talking to what looked like a long-necked creature, and I was saying that's obviously the camera, just with the kind of tarp over it to protect it from rain. So because this is looking down, this might be whatever is recorded there. So it might be that he was doing something, maybe he was recording something intentionally, maybe he was practicing. So yeah, the footprint was already there. Because the angle is probably that, also we can see that the suit has a zipper in the back. That is maybe important, and a big duffel bag.
Sean was there on his own running his lines.
Oh, so it was Penny.
There's clearly a visible footprint right there, which means this must be from Lost Night.
Yeah, he does this sometimes. When he's not happy with a scene, he borrows the equipment and goes over it on his own time.
Wow, he's really dedicated, huh?
Sure is. He may be young, but he takes his craft seriously. You gotta admire it. Well, that's part of it, at least. The using the kit without asking part, not so much.
And he would have been able to use the equipment on his own?
Sure, if all he wanted to do was shoot something pretty basic. Is she seeing something on the monitor? Something changed? What is it, Kay?
Where did Sean go? He ran off somewhere.
Well, as we established earlier, with cassette tapes, you can rewind them. If you're curious where he went, rewind and find out.
And he just left the camera running.
It stopped. I guess he ran out of tape. Maybe he had to leave frame to like turn off the tape, the recording.
So that's all that's on there, Sean's rehearsal?
Sean's rehearsal tape dated, jotted down by organizer, filmed yesterday evening, shows Sean rehearsing by a monster footprint. Oh, is that it? Do we not put together any puzzle pieces in our brain? It's midday already.
You think Judge Gavelle and the others are doing okay?
I'm not sure. How long is it realistically possible to drag out proceedings, I wonder?
We have to find Sean!
Indeed we do. Crap. Oh, heck, not like that. Dang it. No! Oh, crap, they're both here. I think they both have the same voice. This is gonna get confusing. How you think we're gonna get a scoop like that? Well, sorry, Chief, my bad. How many times I gotta say it? We're scoop friends, wild critters that survive on scoops and scoops alone. Every second we ain't scooping, we're starving. Is scoop or die out here? Oh, yes, Chief. I'm exhausted just from those few lines. I'll read some more comments in the chat. Nora says, oh, congratulations on your parenthood. Cypher says, oh, congrats on the child. Vera said, I don't know, to be honest. Nora said, wait, that means I'm an aunt now. Yay! Cypher says, Shinra. Force mentioned. Was that supposed to be Fire Force? I just found out the Fire Force is apparently in the same universe as Soul Eater. Is that correct? Vera said, wait, I can get breakfast. Nora says, it's not. Vera says, I'll BRB. See when you get back, Vera. When he said, I'm still so emotional, like I'm looking at my pics from the con. So you had such good memories. I am so happy that it went well for you, Wendy. Nora says, Azumi Takahashi is P3R singer. Cypher says, it is, but not originally. Amaterasu is the sun god. Amaterasu is also the name of a jutsu Itachi and Sasuke can utilize. It is a MS ability, in fact. When he said, my favorite part of the con was, by far, was going up to Wayne Grayson, Joey's VA, for those who don't know, and talking to him about how special Joey is to me, and I was going to pay for the pick, and Wayne goes, it's on me, and I kind of froze from shock. That is so wholesome and heartwarming. That is awesome, Wendy. Nora said, I love Yukiko's persona, so pretty. Cypher says, Amaterasu is also Yukiko's persona. I forgot when he says, I love Yukiko's persona. Why is my nose itching? Vera says, Wendy. Cypher says, Amaterasu is the sun god in Shinto legend, however. Vera says, hi. Wendy says, Vero, hi. Nora says, Wendy, I know, right? It's legit so gorgeous, like especially in the manga. Oh my heck. Nora says, Kay, I love you. Vera said, Amaterasu is also the Okami protagonist. Really? I had assumed Okami's protagonist was named Okami. Is that what it feels like when people say, I want to play The Legend of Zelda, and they think they're playing as Zelda? Except I still got to get Echoes of Wisdom, where you actually play as Zelda. I don't own it, but I want to get it. Oak says, Kay, sing for me. Wendy said, Kay, my goat. Vera said, I should finish it at some point. Sunshine Coliseum, AA4 reference. Queen says, hold up. I have a screenshot from it from my fan translation version. And Nora says, Oak, since you have a subscription child now, does that make me an aunt? And Cypher says, Kay, chat, gotta go because I have my first shift of work in the morning. I'll be back next stream, though. Good night, Cypher. Enjoy work. Break a leg. Hope it goes well. Have a good one. See you next time. Quiggita said, oh, please pin. That was pinned. Vera said, good luck. Oak said, Nora, no, you have not been adopted by my parents. And Nora said, your mom would probably adopt me, to be fair. Let's take a look over on YouTube. Oh, wait, I gotta scroll up a little bit. Hang on. YouTube has some chatting going on here. Opinion says, oh, I would have read that. Thanatos says, nah, I'm watching. Derma says, I'm fine. Okay, so it sounds like it's good for most people then. That is a relief. Opinion says, pulled up the stream on my laptop instead of my phone, and it's fine, so I guess my phone's mad at me. Maybe it's doing something in the background? I feel like I've noticed if I watch YouTube too long on my phone, it starts like overheating. And so it does this thing where suddenly the whatever video I'm watching will start buffering, and then I'll suddenly like lose 20% of battery all at once. It's awful. Derma says, okay, but the music in the last third of Death Note is phenomenal. I actually prefer it to the first 2/3. Okay, that's fair. I can't remember what the music sounds like in the last third, to be honest. I do think it's interesting that one of the opening songs to Death Note has the Japanese singer use the F word in English over and over and over again at one point. And when they aired it on Adult Swim, they didn't edit that out. They just changed the subtitles and took out the subtitles that say the F word, and I guess just figured maybe they can't tell it's the F word if it's with a Japanese accent. Let's see, Derma says, the new characters have such good themes. I won't dispute that, but like, it just, you know, I feel like I can't go into it without spoilers. But so to each their own, says, sounds like the intro to Kiss the Prince song. I don't think I know that song. I know like 2 Prince songs, and I only kind of know them. I might have to look that up. Derma said, see, I've tried posting clips in YouTube chat, but it doesn't post. Maybe if you like put spaces after certain, I need to look into that. I need to find if there's some filter doing that. I'm sorry. Derma says, Southern Reporter has an argument with herself. Crystal said, my problem is with the YouTube clips, they don't put the name of the titles. It just it just says clip. Huh?
Wait, Prince mentioned?
Yeah. In fact, I feel like a couple of streams ago, I tried to do a little Purple Rain thing, but I don't know the words to Purple Rain well enough. But yes, I only know 2 songs-ish. I kind of know Purple Rain, and there was a song... Wait, no. There's also It's Time to Party Like It's 1999. That's Prince, right? But there's one other that I think was on the Batman 1989 soundtrack. But I don't remember what it's called or how it goes right now. But thank you so much for the 10 bits, Wendy. That's right. For those who don't know, Wendy is very cool about me. I was talking earlier, I'm not cool with music. Wendy is very cool with her music. She's very hip. Derma says, mine just don't seem to appear. I posted one just above, but I don't know if it showed up. Unfortunately, it's not showing up. I'm sorry. Crystal says, oof, that sucks. Thanatos says, Death Note reminds me of my old embarrassing self. Derma says, maximize the hormone. Yeah, they're a great band. Crystal says, did Logan see my clip? No, it's not showing your... Oh, wait. No, it is there. For some reason, I thought that was just you posting Linktree again, so let me copy that. So we'll load that up in the clip viewer in a moment. And Dora says, I see your clip, Crystal. Yes, I'm sorry. So hang on. We have a clip. It's like, so we can do this on YouTube as well. So for those who are lurking or who don't know the deal, whenever someone posts a clip into the chat, we load it up on our clip viewer so we can all watch it together. This clip from Crystal is titled Clip. Such a clever name. So let's check out this clip. Or something like that. I don't know. I can't do a lady. I like how it cuts off. I can't do a lady. How true that is. I can't do a lady because the ladies won't have me. I'd love to, but it's not gonna happen. So thank you very much for that very out of context clip. See, so it was a trap, but I sprung it. But that's more fun. I'm gonna read a couple of comments on Twitch, then we'll get back to the game. I promise, if you're lurking, I promise we're gonna get back to the game soon. Oak says, to Nora, we don't have the money to adopt another child. Nora said, guys, Oak's mom and me are besties. Queen Gator said, I had a screenshot on my phone for an entire month for this moment, lol. Well, I appreciate it. That was very interesting. I love how that, like, both cases, they had, like, sun themes. Oak said, I wouldn't say that. Nora said, I just walked into Haley's house and Alex is there. This is my new save. I'm going to crew. Quote, if you weren't a girl, I'd ask you to play catch. What if I just beat up the guy? Oh my gosh, Vero! Vero just gifted 5 subs on Twitch. Oh yeah, because there's like a special going on. I think if you gift like 5 subs, you get 35% off. Okay, hang on, lurkers, we got to address this. So we have a hype train that is already at level 2 now over on Twitch. So we have subs gifted to Just KJ Things. Oh, we don't see KJ nearly enough. Moco, hang on. Mo Chocolate 9K. I want to say Mocha, so it's Mo Chocolate 9K. Atlantic to Nora and to Robin and Roxy. Oh, Robin and Roxy popped in once. We haven't seen since. I hope the two of them are both doing well. So thank you, Vero. I don't know why, if that was just because the sound was like just so you have to reward with subs. But we're now hype training it up. So if anyone wants access to special Twitch emotes, then over on Twitch, if you sub or gift subs or use bits, I think you get emotes, right? Isn't that how it works? And yeah, there is a deal now where if you, I don't know how long it is, for the next few days, I think maybe it's a week, I don't know, on Twitch, if you gift 5 subs, you get 35% off, I think. So enjoy your discount, Vero. Thank you for your generosity. And for those who now have subs, including Nora's here, I don't know if Atlantic is coming yet, enjoy your access to our bevy of wonderful, why? I think when I was listing how loud certain redeems are, I forgot to list Seekers in there somewhere. I can't remember if I did or not, because that's another loud one. But thank you very much. And yeah, you now enjoy our emotes, which I need to put over onto YouTube somehow. I need to figure out how to do that. And access to the Hey Hey channel. And I have been occasionally posting stuff in the subscriber-only channel on Discord as well. I found out that apparently you can do like, that after you monetize on YouTube. Thank you, Toilet Duck. I will say that after you monetize on YouTube, you can do like members only streams or something like that. I probably should never do that though. That'd be mean to people who aren't members. But thank you, Vero. Vero, you are awesome. Thank you for gifting all those subs. That is super, super generous. I do not deserve that, but I really, really appreciate it. See, it's like we were saying before, Vero is amazing. Vero, thank you. I should play some game. We'll be right back to the chat soon. I appreciate you all. I love and appreciate you all. You guys are an amazing community. I don't deserve you all. That's why I need to track down Chris Turgliafera and thank him. Because without him, I never would have met all of you. And I love and appreciate you all. Well, look who it is. Although I can't help but wish it wasn't. Where did those two get here? Hey, Mr. Edgeworth! We should go talk to them. Do we have to? Huh?
There was no reason, so this is me pretending this was because of the I can't do a lady.
I can't do a lady. Thank you very much, Vero. Well, in that case, at least to reward you, Grimlock will make an appearance. It's me, Grimlock. Thank Vero very much. Speaking of Transformers, okay, hang on. I know that nobody else here besides me and Vero cares about this. So if you're lurking, I will be back to the game, but I'm so frustrated with this. So they're releasing new Constructicons, right? And I found one of them that came out recently has like an assembly error in it. A piece that was put in upside down, huh?
Logan, you deserve it. I'm your beefy son, and we love you very much. Booby!
Thank you, Beef Longa, for the words of encouragement and for the one singular booby. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Let's see, I assume that was Oak who did that. Yeah, thank you, Oak, for the 50 bits. I hope that counts toward the hype train. I'm not sure if Tangia redeems do or not, but thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. But yeah, so one of the first ones that came out is Bone Crusher, and they're like, they got an assembly error, and it's like, and there's a way to fix it though. So if you go under his armpit here, it's hard to get to, but there's like a screw in there that if you have a thin enough screw, you can get to. And it's like, you know what? Even though he's misassembled, I finally found him in the store. He's hard to find, so I'm like, I'll get him. I'll assemble. And I look in the screw, and it's in there. And like, and I got a little mini screwdriver that should be small enough to get in there. It's like, I'm gonna disassemble. I'm gonna fix him. And I look in there. I shine my flashlight, and the screw that's in there is stripped. Like already, I haven't done anything to it. It came stripped. So actually, are there any life hacks for like how to unscrew stripped screws that work? I've heard that if you put like a flat rubber band on the end of your screw or something that it'll grab onto it. But does it work? Does anybody know how to do that? I should probably play some game. Sorry for clearing my throat into the microphone like that. We are literally losing lurkers on both Twitch and YouTube whenever I talk about Transformers. It's a good reminder to me to keep my stuff under wraps. But 5 seconds left in the hype train. 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you so much for the level 2 hype train, everybody. I mean, mostly Vero, but everybody who contributed as well. I gotta open my hype chest on Twitch, and I have an emote of someone like eating a lot of food with a vacuum mouth, and that's actually really adorable. So I'm going to post that. I'm sorry, YouTube, I've been neglecting you. I will be back to everything soon. I should probably play some game. Should we? Ugh. Fine. Good to see Edgeworth had the same reaction as me, though. Oh. I don't want to. Can I just talk to the taxi cab driver again? No, he's checked off. You're checked off. Oh, everyone's checked off. Well. This is going to happen. Maybe I should make one of their voices deeper or something. Except then it'll become too much like Sean. So Tabby Lloyd could be a little
Deeper down here. Well, if it ain't my good friend Ruffles, good to see y'all again.
And you, Miss Lloyd, but how come you're here, if you don't mind me asking? Miss Lloyd, the accusation of murder made against you was, of course, entirely groundless. But the fact remains that you were a willing participant in the staged assassination attempt. Yeah, but Edgeworth, there was a cover-up, in case you don't remember. The police will no doubt wish to speak to you about the matter. I gotta make sure that my vent is open for the air conditioning. It is getting hot in here. You should be aware that you may well be punished for your actions.
Oh, yeah. Well, they kind of dropped the whole case out of nowhere. Packed me up and shipped me home without so much as a slap on the wrist.
Also, I'm gonna be honest, in this universe, it seems like people do not get punished for anything other than murder.
Guess it was their way of saying, you keep up the good work now. They did seem kind of keen to get me to never ever mention the whole thing ever again, though.
See, cover up. It's like what happened with, I think that's why Bronco Knight was killed, right? Because he wasn't willing to go along with the cover-up. He wanted to say that it was a fake assassination. Yes, because you weren't part of the official story of the attempt on the president's life. And they can't afford to have you getting in the way of that.
But Mr. Edgeworth, telling Tabby not to talk is like trying to stop a dam from bursting with a piece of tape.
Well, if it's flex tape, it would probably work. Have you seen the commercial? There was a giant tank of water, and he slapped it on, and it stopped. Not exactly the most delicate way of putting it.
Wrote up the whole thing, of course, every last detail, plus a few of my own. Handed it to the paper, hopes all high and all. But nothing, not a peep.
Was somebody putting pressure on them? Or were the details you added a little too gratuitous, perhaps? Well, hopefully we'll get a copy. We can use that as evidence. Both seems equally plausible, unfortunately. I should read some more in the chat, though. Let's see. Where did I leave off, though? Oak says to Nora, why would you beat him up if he's just being considerate? There was Vera with the Prime Mall. Quigata said, yep, fan translation. I don't know what the Japanese one is, lol. Quigata said, thank you for the pin, salute. Oak says, we all know girls can't play catch because they have to go do the shopping. They have to go to the shopping. Vera says, I can unsee it. Wait, unsee what? Oh, the Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated building. Nora says, me and Dawn are best friends. Oak says to Nora, she's a 66-year-old woman who has spoken to you twice. When he says, I think some of them are out, it actually looks really good. I think one thing that the Perry, or not the Perry the Platypus, sorry, Phineas and Ferb, why was I doing it? Phineas and Ferb revival has going for it is it seems like they have the same people working on it. It's always unfortunate when it's like, hey, we'll get new people, and the new people either just don't understand the source material or think they know better than the source material. Nora says, night-nighty, sleep tight for let the bed bugs bite me to Z. Was it typed like that? Queen Gator said 10 new episodes came out on Disney Plus a few days ago. Oak said, yeah, I think they released like 4 new episodes. Nora says to Oak more than twice. Queen Gator said 10 Oak lol, and they were all beautiful. Oak says I haven't seen them yet. Nora said to Queen Katie, wait, they're out already. Oh my gosh, watch party next weekend. Wait, I'm gonna watch them with my mom. Never mind. Screw you guys. Actually, screw you guys, it says. Let me check out the YouTube chat. Crystal says, oh, okie laughing. Derma says, this is the part which sounds like Prince. Oh, was it the kiss and the thing? Oh yeah, because wasn't that a thing with Prince? The something like that. Crystal says, laughing, that would be funny. Oh wait, no, hang on, I skipped some. Oh yeah, Derma says, that's the part which sounds like Prince. Toshi says, imagine if they censored Death Note OP with peep sounds. I personally think that bleeping out stuff is hilarious. I would love it if they did that. Crystal says that would be funny. Jose, how you doing, Jose? Welcome. Says hello. How has your weekend been, Jose? Derma says hi, Jose. Derma says, quote, beef longa must be confusing for newcomers. I just happen to watch the old VODs without that context. Okay. I guess I'll explain periodically. Beef Longa is a character that we made up. One of our viewers in the Discord once had a typo, meaning to type out Beefy Logan, but instead wrote Beefy Longa. Shortly after that, me and my buddy Z Diggity did a co-stream where we played the game Dream Daddy. It's the game by the Game Grumps guys. It's like a dad dating simulator, and we decided to, in honor of that, to name our character Beef Longa. We used the voice for that, one of the voices we used from Danganronpa 2, which was just kind of like this. And we that was what Beef Longa sounded like. And we've returned with him a few times in different games. And I made a TTS using, where I like read a bunch of lines in that voice and it created a TTS out of it. So that's the Beef Longa TTS. Thanatos said, didn't Bronco die because Fifi was paranoid? She thought he and Canis were connected, if I remember correctly. I still feel like there's got to be more to it than that, though, right? Because the whole thing was that he needed to be silenced because he knew the presidential assassination was fake, was staged, and wasn't willing to go along with it. But maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe I'm wrong, huh?
Actually, now to explain stuff, I can just send a wiki page.
Oh, that is true. For those who missed it, and thank you for the 10 bits, Oak. I really appreciate it. For those who missed it, Oak recently made a wiki for our community when Beef Longa has his own page on there. I feel like only 2 of the triplets from the Valentine stream have their own pages, I think. Also, I need to tell you about the inside joke of freaking Nagito for the inside jokes page. But thank you very much, Oak, for the 10 bits. I appreciate it. I should get back to the game. We should present some of our evidence to her. The prosecutor delves into his pocket after considerable fumbling. He reveals, "Oh, sorry, you're gonna have to help me out here, Ruffles." Never mind. I guess she knows nothing about that. I feel like that's what she said at the beginning of the game. She didn't have anything to say. So that's when she has nothing to say. So I'll read some comments while going through all these, looking to see if she has anything to say about any of them. Oh, here we go. She snuck right into the lion's den without even a thought for her own safety. Yup, the chief is a real champion of truth, all right. Ain't that so, Mr. Edgeworth? Can I say no comment? Perhaps we should reserve judgment on that until we know a little more. Oh, no, I'm more of a judge now, think later kind of gal myself. Nothing else to tell the readers? Only that I'd like you to consider being a little more impartial in your recording. Notice how much larger my hand is than yours. I could crush you easily like a paper cup. Now I'm more of a cater to your audience so they love you more kind of gal. Does that work? Can I cater to you guys so you'll love me more? And my audience is mostly the good old chief. I wish you'd at least try to take things seriously. There we go. Now, yeah. This is the same dialogue we just saw, so I'll read some more in the chat, though. Oak says, I'm debating whether or not to rewatch the rest of the series first, or just watch the new ones, because it's been years since I last saw Phineas and Ferb, so probably need to
Hey, this is Beef here. Just got hired as a Decepticon, and I met a cool guy called Ballpoint that everyone seems to hate. He's a bit weird, but all Decepticons I met so far are. And he introduced me to his buddy Smoothie, who's a blender. I sometimes wonder if it's one of us who is always in his ult mode. Whoa, okay. Yeah, he's making out with the blender.
Oh, is that how it ends? It sounded like that was just trailing off. He's making out with a blender. Thank you, Oak, for the 50 bits, the Beef Longa TTS. Okay, so for those who don't know, Skybound has a new comic book miniseries. It's called like The Worst Bot Ever or something like that. Or maybe it's a one-shot. I haven't read it yet. It looks adorable. It looks like a lot of fun. Where the idea is there's a Decepticon named Ballpoint who just transforms into a pen. So he's useless. And it's about him having some sort of adventure. It looks like a lot of fun. I love this idea because, okay, so the theater that I perform at also does plays in addition to the improv shows I do. They do musical parodies of popular franchises. And I've written a few scripts for them. And one time I wrote a script for a parody of the Michael Bay Transformers movies. And I thought it'd be kind of fun to throw in a bit about, I wrote a character who is an Autobot, whatever our version of the Autobots were called, I don't even remember. But it was a character who just transformed into a stapler, and so was just absolutely useless. And I got excited because here, I'm gonna go grab it. Hang on, lurkers, I will be right back. We'll play some more game, I promise. I just gotta grab something, it's like a few feet away. Over here, hang on, I'll be right back. I'm back here. And a while ago, Hasbro released some toys that were called BotBots, which were little Transformers that turn into like just little household things. And one of them is a little stapler. And so you can transform him really easily and turn him into a little bot. I think his name was like Stink Eye Stapleton or something like that. They gave him a really goofy name. You can see his little face there. Our character was named Staplor. And it was great because it was played by this girl who was just like really petite and tiny, so she looked like a little kid, and it was really endearing. And the actor who played the Starscream character, there's one point where Staplor revealed that she has a laser gun and like fires it at the Starscream character. And so the actor who played Starscream had a bet. It's like, because we had it was like a little toy gun with like little suction cup darts. And he's like, if any of the darts stick to me, I'll give you $1. If any of them hit my face, I'll give you $5 or something like that. And most of the time they missed. Occasionally one would kind of stick to the chest. But one night she fired it and one of the darts went right between his eyes and just stuck right there. It was amazing. I wish I had it on like a recording of it. Part of me thinks somebody might have recorded, but I don't think they did. But it was amazing. I wish Vero could have seen that. Anyway, I should play some game because lurkers are once again jumping ship because I'm talking about Transformers. I wish you'd at least try to take things seriously. Oh, that's right, because I'm going through stuff. She has nothing new to say, so I got to read some more in the chat. Okay, saying because it's been years since I saw Last Phineas and Ferb, so I probably need to refresh. I'd love to rewatch it. I would assume they don't have a lot of continuity between it. Maybe I'm mistaken. Oak said, but also that's a lot of time. Queen said, to be honest, just watched the last episode of season 4. They reference it in the very first new episode. So is this supposed to be like a year later, like the next summer vacation? Because that's the whole thing, is that the series takes place over the course of summer, right? Wendy says, oh my gosh, there was a Yu-Gi-Oh panel today, and the other panels had like a staff member as the moderator, but for Yu-Gi-Oh, Eric Stewart! Oh, Friel just took over as moderator, which is so in character for Kaiba. I am still so sad. I wanted to meet him and Rachel Lillis together at a convention for Jesse and James for Team Rocket. And then Rachel Lillis tragically passed away from cancer this past year. That was one of those deaths that really punched me in the gut. And so I'm so sad, but I still want to meet him sometime. When he says bro walked up on stage and said, welcome to Kaiba Corp. Oh, that's awesome. Oak says, I got a massive dump truck. Says you. Nora says, I fear I assumed we were talking about an actual dump truck. Oak says to Nora, bro is innocent. Nora said, row. Quick said, Blinks, what do you mean? We were in the 300s during Metaphor and we're in Metaphor now, but 600s now. I feel like Rukov, when, used to only seldom add quotes. But we've kind of gone a little bit crazy, but it's also kind of fun. Rukov says yes. Oak says 2 subscription babies in one day. Weddy said 2 sub babies. Vera said 2 babies in one day. That means that we can share birthday celebrations for them. Okay, something new, finally. Ms. Lloyd, this picture. Well, say no more, Ruffles. I already know what you're gonna ask. Huh? You do? You're looking for him, right? The kid? Oh, yes. Okay, apparently doing this weird compulsion of showing every piece of evidence has paid off. What? You just can't get out from under the drama, huh? Wherever he goes, the bodies follow. Miles Edgeworth, trouble magnet. Pretty much sums you up, right? Is my reputation really so sordid? And now you done got yourself wrapped up in a kidnapping too? Crazy. Huh? How'd you know about that? Oh, shush, pop down, will you? Can't be talking about this stuff too loud. I ain't even told the chief about it. Gotta keep it on the down low, okay? That ain't a cat. I want out of the bag just yet. Seriously, how'd you know about it? Surely Judge Cavell hasn't told anybody except us. I bet you just love to know, wouldn't you? Well, you can't. It's a secret. She's as stubborn as ever, it seems. Hey, quit staring at me like that. I ain't sharing nothing with that thundercloud of a face crap. Is our final mind chess of the game going to be against Tabby Lloyd? That would be profoundly disappointing. Okay, so any other evidence to present? We also got the bike lock. Okay, nothing new there, so I'll read some more in the chat. Let's see, Cypher says, if y'all have sub babies, does that mean Logan is the baby daddy of the sub? Sadly, no. I want to be a dad, but no, I am not the father. Twitch Bezos is the father. Nora says, I'm gonna do some Tartarus grinding right now. Wait, oh yeah, that's right, you have been playing, wait, which version of, you're playing P3P, right? Let's see. Rukov says, oh my. Crystal says, Nora, close your eyes. Don't worry, it wasn't a spoiler thing. When he says ancient clip, oh my gosh. Quickity said chicken. Now I crave chicken. Nora says to Rukov, hi. Rukov says, hi. Oak says, what if Batman gifts a sub to Rukov so his sub never runs out? I think that would mean that Batmanon is being very nice. Nora said, tartar sauce grinding right now. Quickity said, BRB gonna hunt around my kitchen. Nora says, Tartarus and I know how fighting mechanics in Persona work. Rukov says, oh, that was pinned earlier. Let's see what he says to Rukov. This is true. Okay, we're almost done here with these things. Then we'll get back to actual, like, conversations here. Let's see. I gotta scroll a little bit. Oak says, to Wendy, grandma dog. Well, I wonder, was Wendy saying a grandma dog or like a grandma, comma, dog? You know, because we're cool. Nora says, I forget my P3P voice lines are in Japanese when he says, unk dog. Is that what I am? I'm a unk dog. Rukov says, Logan has some amazing streams that only had me there. I think we did have some fun streams early on. I love the old A Way Out streams with Chief Asian. Okay, so that's the last piece of evidence, so nothing else here. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so she has stuff to talk about, but what about Lotta Heart? Yeah, what about when we present everything to you? That's right, you thought we were done presenting. Oh crap, no, wrong button. Wrong button. We gotta present. That's the thing. Hey, you, yeah, you, top knot girly. Are you talking to me? Well, who the heck else would I be talking to? What's that thing you got stuck on your scarf there? This? Oh, it's my Yatagarasu pin. The Yatagarasu is the greatest thief in the world, and... Well, never mind all that, dang it! How come it's all wrapped up in gold paper is what I want to know. I bet it's fixing to melt any second. Because it's chocolate. Hello, anybody home? I'm talking about that big old chocolate bird right there. Didn't your mom ever teach you to treat your food with respect? Mr. Edgeworth, what do I do? You eat your pin, Kay. I've had to eat my Prosecutor badge many times. Do not worry, it will not digest. It will pass in several hours. Just keep quiet and weather the storm, Kay. She'll get bored eventually. Anything here? Seems y'all solved that there underground auction case thanks to yours truly. You're welcome.
Yeah, we owe you big time for your help, Ms. Hart. Thank you so much. Arigato gozaimasu. My memory's completely back now and everything!
Huh? Hear what now? Hear you're saying you done lost your memory back there or something? Someplace? I know whose memory I'm more worried about. Had a bunch of unique dialogue so far. Big building! Okay, so that's just same dialogue as before. Read some more in the chat. Oak says, Rukov, I know, I'm so sad they aren't archived. I think at the time I didn't realize that anyone would ever want to go back and watch those old streams. Oak says, don't you mean Vero pieces? See what I'm pulling out from my brain and thinking about the concept of a puzzle. I can say a puzzle. Vero says, my favorite bit. Oak says, I think Logan should fully commit to exclusively say Vero, even when it's supposed to be a puzzle. I do worry that those types of inside jokes might confuse people even further. Over on YouTube, Dermo says, I mean, freaking Nagito is self-explanatory. Who doesn't yell that during Danganronpa 2? It was like Danganronpa 2 and everything after that. It was just freaking Nagito every time he would appear. But we actually carried it over a little bit. Because when we played Your Turn to Die, oh crap, actually that might be some slight Your Turn to Die spoilers. But there's a character in Your Turn to Die that, yeah, there's a clip on my TikTok about it. Well, huh, what?
I think she died.
What?
That's
Oh, crap!
Crusade.
Crap! Oh, okay, that's where the clip ends. I forget that my clip goes on much longer than that. Nanako was just rolling over and falling asleep. It was fine. But yes, Derma, I'm glad that you empathize with that. Now, we do have some Nagito enjoyers. Wendy in the chat is an avid Nagito fan. So it is said with the utmost of love and also genuine frustration at Nagito. But yes, there was a big Nagito reference in our playthrough of Your Turn to Die, but it'd be spoilers, so I guess I probably shouldn't say it here. Toshi says, I heard it, Beef Lang is Longa Agent Lang's secret wife? Ooh, maybe, huh?
I thought it was gonna be funny to have the clip be YTTT because you mentioned IT. public apology.
Well, wouldn't that have been a great coincidence, though? I would have loved that. We need the final part of that to be released. Every month or so, I like go look it online to see if there's any update, and there never is. It makes me sad. I mean, well, a couple months ago, there was an update where I think the developer said, like, we're putting the finishing touches on it, and released a few screenshots. But thank you very much for the 10 bits. I do appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And yeah, no, beef longa, because longa has the same words as letters as Logan, but just spelled wrong. I should play some game, but also I've been talking nonstop for almost 2.5 hours and I'm running out of oxygen. Which, by the way, since we're almost to the 2.5 hour mark, now is a good time to start keeping an eye out for raid suggestions to use later on when it eventually becomes time to wind down the stream. I wish we could do a raid on YouTube. We've got like more people on YouTube now than on Twitch, which is weird when we first started. And it was like, I've only been like streaming on YouTube a few months. Actually, when is November, December? I guess it's been a while. It's been about 6 months, but YouTube's doing really well now with these streams. Metaphor YouTube isn't as thrilled about, but oh well. Let's play a bit more of the game. Now listen here, you low down dirty prosecutor. Taurosaurus is mine. Mine, you hear? I'll track down every last lead there is to find that big old bad bull. You see if I don't. From footprints to the finest strand of stray hair, ain't a single teeny tiny thing about to pass me by. Strands of stray hair? That's what you were focused on.
Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, don't worry, you're nowhere near that stage just yet. You'll get there. You will go bald. You'll go bald. And besides, your dad had a fine head of hair, right, thick and healthy, and yeah, unfortunately, male pattern baldness skips a generation. I saw a photo of your grandpa, bald as that judge guy that we met that one time. And we all lose the odd strand from time to time. There's nothing to worry about right now. Later there will be, I promise. I promise later you will go bald.
That's not what I was worried about at all. But I did find it oddly comforting. Oh, hey, it worked on him. I feel like that would have like brought it to my attention more if I was in his shoes. Okay, same thing as before. I gotta read some more in the chat then. Oak says, I say that it hopes that it will affect his job or something. Rukov says, night chat. Oh, that was pinned earlier. Queen said, thank you guys for using the quote command so I don't have to. Oak said, like, what if he is hired to act in a puzzle commercial? I actually had an issue one time. So I was doing this commercial for, they were like for baby booties, okay? And I was supposed to be the cool uncle who's like figured out what to get my nieces and nephews for Christmas, right? In real life, I have a niece and 2 nephews. And so I'm used to always talking to people. It's like, yeah, my niece and nephews. And so in the commercial, I was supposed to say nieces and nephews, but like, I was so used to it, I did a bunch of takes where I kept saying niece and nephews until someone on the, one of the people who's like on book and checking continuity stopped and said, hang on, you keep saying niece and nephews instead of nieces and nephews. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. So that was an embarrassment for me. Anyway, when he says, Vero has been Vero for so long, I can't even remember the OG username. It was Vero, my beloved. When he says, sleep tight, Rukov. Oak says goodnight, Rukov, and Vero says goodnight to Rukov. Oh, no offense and all, but if you're trying to reel me in here, y'all better have some tasty bait on that hook, by which I mean scoops and plenty of them. She didn't seem interested in that at all. Was that the same dialogue as before? I guess. Oh, hang on, we got a clip in the chat. Vero posted a clip in the Twitch chat. So once again, for those who don't know, whenever this happens, we load it up on our clip viewer and watch this together. And this will tell us how far behind I am in chat as well. Crap, it's an hour ago. Am I seriously that far behind? Oh my gosh. Okay, this clip is titled, Happy Pride to Kay's Assistant.
But if you're her assistant, I guess this is her case. No, that's simply, I can see you're an intelligent man. You're right, of course. I'm in charge of this one.
Don't encourage her. Why not? You need to encourage today's youth in their ambitions.
All right, I'll need you to give me straight answers. Whenever I talk to old Miles, he mixed gay over here, gay answers. I don't mind that he's gay. It's just that isn't.
So then it cuts off right there. I went on to say that that's not, it's like no judgment, because I realized right afterwards, like, crap, that sounded like I was using it as an insult. It was just a factual observation about Miles Edgeworth. Vera says, I can't believe it was a bit that just stuck. Wendy says, I object to objectionable Veros. Wendy says, Edgeworth dropped that life-changing line and changed history. Oak said to Vero, what was the bit? Nora said, why is there a person shadow called Lustful Snake? I'm fighting them right now. I don't know. I vaguely remember that in Persona 4. Maybe that's Persona 3 as well. Wendy says to Nora, there's literally a skibbity toilet type persona, and this is the question you're asking. This is not a head coming out of a toilet, it's a little dude on a toilet. Vera says, there's a latent XAA game where Miles just says, I object to objectionable puzzles. I didn't know Edgeworth is in the Professor Layton crossover game. Again, I part of me wants to, I wish the channel could get big enough that I could like pay people like a little bit of money to maybe come and do things or something, or at least that it was big enough that it would be worth their while. Because I've mentioned before, like I'm friends with the voice of Professor Layton, and I'd love to like bring him on for a Professor Layton game, but I feel like I can't bring myself to ask. I can't, because we're friends, but we're like work friends, like, you know, yeah. Anyway, Oak says to Vera, wait, that's what it's from? When he says laughing, yeah. Vera says, yeah, laughing. When he says, I still have no clue what he meant by it, but speak your truth, goat. Nor with question marks. Oak says, holy crap, wiki info. What is Vero even from? I know the old user was Vero, my beloved, but who is Vero? Vera says, an old buddy of mine who did streaming, and I made an account to be in their chat. When he says, insane Vero lore. Nora says, I forget I have to keep working on gaggle of women lore. Oak says, incredible. Nora says, this summer will be full of women gaggle lore. Sorry this is taking so long to present all this evidence, but I need to make sure that we get all the extra content that we get from talking to these two Southern belles. There, I was nice to them in my description of them. What he says, I gotta rewatch Death Note. Honestly, part of me wants to do a rewatch, but I feel like I want to get somebody who hasn't seen it and rewatch it with a person and like experience that person's reactions to everything. That alone, I feel like should be reason enough that I ought to get a girlfriend. But that requires finding a girl that likes me, which is harder than I would prefer. Oh, girl can do all she wants to take photos for the good of the people. Don't mean she won't still get a sore back from crouching behind a big old statue like that. Speaking of which, you claimed that you saw Taurusaurus while you were back there. And see him I dang well did, and now I done proved he's real. That's really gonna do the people some good. I have a feeling this is dialogue that I should have gotten after I talked to her. I feel like she's referencing things I don't know yet. Well, think about it. This changes every dang thing. I done thought about it plenty. Like I said, it's all for the good of the people. Everything I do.
I guess it would change things. Imagine if Gordy turned out to be real too.
Right? And what about aliens and ghosts? The two of them together is like don da don 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 da don don da don don. Akadamini water yakada antara nankaja tabana tukano and quabra. I should probably stop. That's how the opening theme goes. And time machines and the lost treasures of the ancients. Things will sure change once we prove all that stuff's real too. The world won't ever be the same again.
Wow, I never thought about it like that. Maybe that really would be for the good of the people.
I strongly advise you to take everything Ms. Hart just said with a sizable pinch of salt, Kay. Okay, almost done. Two more things. Okay, we already saw that. And last thing. That's it. Oak says, bro, the wiki page for Vero is gonna be longer than Logan's page, and it's his wiki, because there's not much interesting stuff about me. When he said, wait, where can I see this Logan wiki? I think Crystal made a command for it now. Oh, and there we go. There's the link. When he says, peek. Oak says, Wendy, I hope you know I'm going to make a page about you. When he says, oh, I'm honored. Nora says, y'all, I might get to go to protest on Saturday with my friends. When he said, if Tristan Taylor from Yu-Gi-Oh! Was a character from Persona, he would be that one social league for Persona 3 where you would just go around to different spots and eat with him. Was that Kenji? Where we just always were going for ramen? Does that mean Tristan had a thing for his teacher as well? Okay, so let's actually talk to these two. Let's save before we do this though, because it's like 2.5 hours into stream, and I think it's been a while since I've saved. Once again, it is the 2.5 hour mark. So as I said before, now is a good time to start keeping an eye out for raid suggestions on Twitch. If anybody on YouTube knows how there is actually a way to do YouTube raids, I'd appreciate that. Let's see, Derma says, oh, don't get me wrong, I love Nagito. And the Your Turn to Die character said, wait, you know the guy who voices Layton? I love those games. I've only played like part of one of them. But yeah, I love it. No, he and I have worked together on a bunch of stuff because he lives locally here as well. He is probably like the most successful local actor that I know of. Most actors here, like myself, have to have like another job besides acting. He's one of the few people because of Professor Layton. And I think it was like some Subway commercials, some nationwide Subway commercials that he was doing like the voiceover for, that he just did really well. And now he does workshops for voice actors out of his like home studio and stuff like that. He's a great guy. He's really awesome. Anyway, Tabby Lloyd. Ms. Lloyd calls you Chief, doesn't she? Sure does, because that's exactly what I am. She's my #1 cub reporter. Seems my unique brand of shutterbugging caught her eye, so she came to me to learn the trade and my accent. She may be a scribbler, not a snapper, but the both of us are hungry for scoop soup 24/7. Besides, who doesn't want to be called Chief, right? I'm trying to think if I'd enjoy being called Chief or not. I don't know. Ms. Hart's pictures were what drew Ms. Lloyd to her. I suppose it's no surprise that this particular chief attracted an apprentice with such unique tastes. Sure, she didn't score no big stores just yet, but she's hungry. Boy, is she! Hungrier than me, even. Seriously, I saw her eat a man. Like, he was alive. And she like, just ate him. Craziest crap I ever done seen. And she wants a Taurosaurus exclusive batter, and a coyote wants a chicken, which is almost as bad as a coyote wants a roadrunner. She's been turning this place upside down all day looking for leads.
She has? Maybe she knows something about the kidnapping. I think we should ask her, don't you, Mr. Edgeworth?
Except we already know, because we talked to her first.
Agreed. We need all the help we can get to find Sean.
And I can think of one piece of evidence that might encourage her to tell us what we need to know. Okay, so the game did, like, try to lead us there. I just brute forced it on accident. Your scoop!
So, now that the story of the underground auction is in the bag, what's next?
Oh, come on, as if you need to ask. Taurosaurus, that's what. Fate done dropped him right in my dang lap. Snuck in upstairs to cover the auction. And then he shows up right on the doorstep and stops big old footprints everywhere for good measure. Oh, that's right, because we still haven't figured out why she claims to have seen his eyeball outside the window, right? Because we can still claim that somebody made with a jackhammer made the footprints in the concrete. But where does the eye? Is it gonna be like a Larry thing where something else was falling past the window and she thought it was an eyeball? Or maybe like the head of Taurosaurus was on the roof and fell from there? I don't know.
And you have a particular news outlet in mind for this big scoop?
How does a bear do its business in the woods? By which I mean if the bear is the owner of a small business. It probably, because like its cave would be in the woods, it'd be more convenient. I'm not talking about pooping. I've seen those Charmin commercials. They use a toilet and toilet paper that doesn't sometimes stick to their behind. I got me 2 or 3 in mind. They'll be all over this like a rash. Heck, there's even one right here in the big building. Tabby and me, we're in and out of there all the time. I mean, mostly on account of how fond they seem to be throwing us out in our ears, but still.
It sounds as if they're both more out than in.
It's okay if she's out. It's kind of a month for that. Okay, Tabby! We're talking to you now about stuff. Reporting!
What are you doing here at the big building? Are you reporting on something?
Hey, maybe I didn't make this clear enough, but first time we met, but you want a reporter to scratch your back, you gotta scratch hers first if you catch my meaning.
You mean that you want me to give you something you can use for an article?
Bingo, and it better be good. Does this sound at all different? I'm trying to make her voice a little bit deeper, but I feel like it's not working. Because I'm an hour behind in Twitch chat, I should probably read a little bit of Twitch chat, also some YouTube chat. So if you're lurking, type stuff. Make it more difficult for me to catch up if you want. Let's see, Krista says, not buffering for me, and timestamp 1 41:45. I'm just under an hour behind. Oak said, I hopped off the plane at LAX. When he said, with my dream and my cardigan. Nora said, welcome to the land of fame. It says, are these song lyrics? Quiggity said, well, Logan, that's the power of rabbit holes. When I dive into one, you bet I'm gonna make a wonderful time, make a wonderland out of it. That is awesome. That is an awesome attitude to have also. When he said, the hookers did make kissing noises, I forgot about that, yeah. Quiggity said, low-key kind of want to tally up how many quotes there are for each game once I get them all one day. Ooh, that'd be very interesting, actually. Vera says, even now they don't like them. Nora says, I giggled out loud. Oak said, apparently Twitch doesn't like hookers when he's laughing. And oh, there's a clip. There's a clip in the chat. So hang on, let me load this one up at the clip viewer. Once again, the timestamp will let me know if we're still like a full hour behind. Wait, what? It didn't. There's something wrong with the URL. It like didn't load properly. Failed to determine context classification. Let me try that again. Yeah, there's something wrong with that link. Oak says, no, my clip. Vera says F when he says F. Yeah, sorry, that didn't work out. Quiggity said this is the exact same VHS tape image they used every time in Ace Attorney. Are they all blue? Nora said P3 players. Which party member would be best for a hanged man fight? And what level should they be? I can't remember. Crystal says F. Quiggity said, all right, you're still stuck in there. Nora says, I'm just Tartarus grinding right now. Yeah. And there's the same link. It's still not working. Oak, I'm sorry. Says, dang, new link didn't work either. Quiggity said, yeah, Oak, for some reason, the second half of your clip isn't registering as a link. Yeah, I'm not even seeing it though. Nora said Lotta and Tabby hard. Oak says Lotta, leave. Vera says, is the voice a part of their training? Maybe. That she learned it. She normally has no accent. Quiggity said the country girl is on drugs and talking to herself. Nora says I love both of them, but I love Lotta more. Oak says I don't think it's the same universe as Soul Eater, but it's made by the same person. Oh, maybe I was lied to then. Nora said me too, to be fair. Oak said to Nora, how can you like Lotta? And okay, now Wendy has a clip. Let's see if this one works. And then after we watch this clip, I will catch up fully on the YouTube chat if there's any more comments there. Oh, crap, this one is still from an hour ago. Crap. So let's go ahead and pop this one up here. This clip from Wendy is titled, "This exchange reminds me of how every male country singer sounds ... I'm gonna guess it's like the same. Wendy always has the best titles, but I hate that like Twitch always truncates them for me. But thank you very much. Let's check this out. Oh crap, they're both here. I think they both have the same voice. This is gonna get confusing. How you think we're gonna get a scoop like that? Well, sorry, Chief, my bad. How many times I gotta say it? This is, we're scoop friends. This is so annoying to listen to me talk. On scoops and scoops alone. Every second we ain't scooping, we're starving. It's scoop or die out here. Oh yes, Chief. You know what I said earlier that I thought me talking about Transformers was chasing off? Oh crap, I accidentally closed out the YouTube chat. I hope it doesn't refresh on me. I accidentally used the wrong window for that. Oh, please still be there. Oh, it is still there. Oh, thank goodness. But yeah, maybe it was that was chased off all those lurkers earlier. Crystal says, freaking Nagi so better, Dermo. Combination of Nagito and, I won't say that name, although I guess you can kind of figure it from Your Turn to Die laughing. Quiggity said, nah, it's the final page of Fire Force literally shows the Soul Eater main character's family with said protag lol. Oak says, oh dang. Nora says, I'll say this. I understand the hate because yes, she's a liar. I understand what she did and I don't defend it, but I still think she is super fun. Oak says, how does that even happen? They have entirely different magical powers that aren't in the other world. Quiggity said, things happen at the end. Things, Oak. Nora said, my phone just overheats a lot. Oak says, Logan, what phone do you have? It's an iPhone 8. I got it in like, I don't know, 2016 or something like that. So I've had it for 9 years. That's probably longer than it's intended to exist. But it happens because at work I have a lot of downtime and I'll watch YouTube videos. Let's see. Nora says, Prince is from Minnesota. Rah! Oak said, what do you mean loses 20% of battery all at once? That's not normal. It just happens sometimes. That's what iPhones do sometimes. Nora says, Prince mentioned Minnesota lives when he said, Bat Dance, I think if I remember correctly. That might be it. It's the one that plays like, I think it's when they're having the big parade and the Joker's throwing around all the money and everything like that, all the Joker bucks. Nora says, Fuka keeps yelling at me in Japanese for my Switch. When he said that might be the Prince song. Nora says, oh, she was yelling at me in Japanese because I just got sniped by the Grim Reaper. Did she shout, because since it was Japanese, did she shout, Grim Reaper Desu? I think that would have been adorable. Oak says, also, when I was doing research for the wiki, I found an old message from Selmers. Aw. Oh, and there is the 5 gifted subs subs from Vero. Thank you again, Vero. That was so nice of you. I really, really appreciate that. I know lurkers. I got to get back to the game, but I'm so far behind in the Twitch chat. I really got to read a few more things before we get back in this. Oak says, and it mentions the artist Sophie, who died, and also mentioned Daria Core, which is a genre invented by Jane Remover. Is that based on the old MTV cartoon, the spin-off of Beavis and Butthead, Daria? Quiggita says, whoa, 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 Vera, whoa, wow. Nora says, hello. Vera says, it was on sale, so I might as well. Thank you again, Vera. I really, really appreciate it. Atlantic says, thank you, Vero. Chris says, W subs. Oak says, holy crap. Atlantic says, I'd use a Seekers in your honor, Vera, if I didn't go broke in my last one. Vera said, laughing, I can redeem it for you. Oak said, also, I made Sophie a remix for Pride Month 3 year or 2 ago. It's so cool that Selmer's mentioned her. Atlantic says, lol, thanks. Vera says, everyone get points. And Wendy with a hydrate command. I got to open up a new water for that, but thank you very much, Wendy. I do appreciate that. I also apologize that like all of you watching on YouTube right now, you can't see the Twitch chat. Should I do one of those things that some streamers do? Like, I did before. Sometimes when we have a game that's more narrow and there's more like, you know, negative space on the side to put the chat on the screen. Although I would never be reading what's on there because I'm like an hour behind. Nora said, even with a sub, I'll still be blue on Discord. Well, I think it takes a few days to synchronize up. I can try and do a manual resync if you want. Quiggity says, all hail Vero. Atlantic says, 54K points. Good gosh. Nora says, why is Junpei fighting the Reaper by himself? This is so funny. Quiggity said again. Vera said, hi, Grimlock. Nora said, yeah, but it was just him flailing there. I didn't even know that could happen. That's so funny. Oak says, wait, holy crap, I have 60K points now. How? Atlantic said, Vero is how. Quiggity said, thanks, Vero. Vera salutes. Vera says, booby, exclamation point. Oak said, Beef was so excited about getting to say booby. Atlantic says, booby. Nora said, I would love to be like, yo, you want to play Overwatch right now? Vera says, no, that sucks. Quiggity with the timestamp 2:03:30. I'm less than 45 minutes behind now. Vera says, choo-choo. I said, choo-choo. Oak said, also, Vero, you should check Discord. Wendy with an emote. Nora says, how do I fix my party members? They're dead on the floor right now, but I'm like in Tartarus, not even in battle. They're just dead. They're dead to you. Wendy says, if you go back to the clock tower by the stairs, you can heal them back up like at the entrance of Tartarus. So wait, so they don't get like 1 hit point like they do in Reload? Vera says, huh, wow, okay. Queen said, Logan, the reason why Bronco died, was Fifi was getting paranoid that Katniss might have cronies to kill her. She thought Bronco was one such crony, bam, murder. But again, I just always felt like there's more to it. Maybe not. Maybe it's just my theory is wrong. When he says, not flex tape. When he says, oh no, don't worry, it's all 3 pages. When he said, I'm getting hungry, so I'm probably gonna head off and get some food before my flight. Bye guys, see you when I'm back at home. And I got more con stuff to share. Good night, Wendy, you're probably long since gone, but have a safe flight. Enjoy your food. I'm so glad your trip went so well. Oak says, everyone thank Vero for that. Vera says, laughing. I love how he said it. Oak says, quote, yeah, he's a ... making out with a blender ... Oh, did Vero write, wait, did Vero redeem that beef long at TTS? Either way, it was delightful. Oak said, that's a quote. Quiggity said, I love how as soon as Vero and Crystal became mods, we started getting quotes pretty much every stream. It's been a lot of fun. Quiggity said, power of active mods. Am I right? Vera said, I gotta be hard to document. Quiggity said, yup, it's the next year in the new season. Phineas has an extra stripe in his shirt now. Oh, he does? So he's like Phoenix, because Phoenix gets a new spike in his hair every year. Phineas gets a new stripe. Nora said, I'm crying. I just went to my dad's Netflix profile just cuz, and he started watching the Kakegurui English live action. No! Oak says, oh no. I gotta scroll. Quiggity says, add quote, okay, apparently doing this ... this weird compulsion of showing every piece of evidence has paid off. Nora says, I even told my dad about it too. I'm like, they made an English live action, one of my favorite shows, and it looks awful, and they even showed it to him. Why is he watching it? Vera with the ad quote. Oak says, I'm mostly concerned that he's watching Kakegurui. Your dad's gonna judge you, Nora. Oak says, ad quote, yeah, but was she saying grandma dog or like grandma dog gesticulates in cool? I just like the word gesticulates. Oak says, Edgeworth canonically eats his prosecutor badge and poops it out. Nora says, is Atlantic still here? Atlantic says, yep. Oak says, no. Nora says, Atlantic, do you want to play Overwatch? Nora says, I'm just going through Switch games right now. And Vera says, whoa, okay. Nora said, I saw P4, so I muted guys, because I wasn't sure if I had seen it or not yet. Atlantic said to Nora, I'm playing some Star Wars stuff with my friends, but afterwards, if you're still up, I can play. Not sure how long I'd be able to, though. Nora said, no, afterwards, I have to read Yuri and go to sleep. Oak says to Nora, don't worry, it was just a clip of Nautico in the hospital. Nora says, I just had to make sure, you know. Atlantic said, okay, I'm going to go back to lurking. Thank you for the lurking, Atlantic. Okay, I should probably play some game. I think I'm getting a little bit closer. Let's play a little tiny bit, then I'll be right back to the chat. Well, bingo, it better be good, because if it ain't, this conversation's over. We do need to know about what might have happened to Sean. Perhaps I could show her a piece of evidence and see if she has anything to give me in return. Except we already did, Edgeworth. Because I do that. I just show evidence to everybody. I especially love it when it's evidence I'm not supposed to show to people, like diaries.
So you know something, right?
Well, sure do. Oh, the music's stopping, so it's important. Truth is, I done saw it. Little kid being bundled off by two shady characters in black suits. So that's what's going to combine with the missing case. Like I said, he was shoved in the case and kidnapped by the two people who took the taxi. So we should be able to say the taxi driver take us to wherever they went. They kidnapped a kid. Men in black. According to Ms. Lloyd, 2 men in black suits took Sean away.
What? You know where they went?
Oh, nope, don't got a clue. I was kind of far away when I spotted them. Lost sight pretty quick.
Dang it! Still, at least we know something about our kidnappers now.
Yes, 2 men in black. I hope they were played by Tommy Lee Jones and Will Smith. Okay, let's save and let's put together the puzzle pieces in my brain, and then I assume talk to the taxi cab driver after that. Oak says, no effing way are we 2.5 hours in stream. Oak, we're over 2 3/4 of an hour into stream. Nora says, what? Oak says, raid suggestion, Tony's Game Land. Okay, because yeah, we have raided him before, but I'll copy that down because that is allowed. Absolutely. Let me just copy that over here. Thank you very much. And anybody else got raid suggestions? Please provide them.
Imagine you see men in black taking a kid forcefully and you just don't do anything and not call the police.
Okay, well, have you ever heard, I can't remember what show this was from. There was a joke, I want to say it was from Only Murders in the Building. The idea that if you ever got to go somewhere you're not supposed to be, you should carry a ladder. Because anybody who's carrying a ladder, they figure, oh, that person is obviously doing something important. So maybe it's just because if you see people like men in black suits like that, doing something like that in broad daylight, you assume, oh, well, they clearly got a reason. They clearly have a reason to kidnap this 13-year-old child in a large metal trunk. And say like, yeah, I'm not gonna do anything. I'm not gonna get in the way of this obviously important duty, duty. But thank you very much for the 10 bits, Vero. I appreciate that. Let's see, and Quick Eddie says, not gonna lie, I'm still proud of this quote. Best whiplash ever. Nora says, I drew Oak earlier and she did not comment on it. Oak says, you did. And Nora says, yes, I DM'd you. Oak says, oh, that's awesome. Okay, so what do we got? Vehicle activity, only a taxi and a blue truck have been through the plaza this morning. According to Ms. Lloyd, 2 men in black took suits. Okay, so we gotta put this and this. But we'll probably need to put whatever comes from that with the stolen case also, right? Did I say it before I came in here? I think I meant to. But just in case we get the order wrong, because we're like technically combining like 3 or 4 different things all at once. So we got to combine the men in black kidnapping him with only 2 people got in the taxi. They used the trunk and they were the only cars to leave, right? So that's what we got to do. So it must be them. So men in black, 2 men, and connect. So, we've learned a little something about the kidnappers. Ms. Lloyd saw 2 men taking Sean away, and the taxi driver remembers giving 2 similar-looking men a ride.
They must be the same people, right?
I'd say it's a distinct possibility, yes, but there's one thing that doesn't make sense. The taxi driver said specifically that the 2 men didn't have a child with them, but did they have a child-shaped box? It's kind of like there's that old song from the 90s, Heart-Shaped Box. There should be a song called Child-Shaped Box. Bloop.
Oh yeah, that is weird.
Okay, but that means if we put stolen case and no Sean together, then that should do it, right? Connect. And, oh! Could it be the kidnappers who stole the case?
Wait, you mean?
Yes. What if they put Sean inside it?
He's little enough that he'd fit, I guess. Seriously, he's tiny. He's almost as small as Crystal. So the reason that the taxi driver didn't see him
might be that he was loaded into the trunk as baggage.
But why did they need to hide him?
I imagine they might not have planned to originally, but they didn't count on there being a police presence here in the plaza.
Right, that makes sense. Police frown on kidnapping. We've all learned that lesson the hard way. They didn't want the officer on duty to see them going off with Sean.
So they took a rather drastic measure. Wait, are we saying that that Sean was in on it, that he wanted to go with them but just wanted to hide? I just still assume it's a kidnapping. That must be it! So again, we gotta wonder who the men are. There's some connection between Sean and the King of Zhangfa as well. So maybe it was more of his bodyguards. Because Zhangfa, the King of Zhangfa, Dijong Wang, he wanted to be in the movie. He showed up, he talked to Sean. There's something there. I still think Sean is probably Rosie Ringer's kid biologically, but he might be. How old was Dijong Wang? I want to say he was like 56 or something like that. Oh, 58. I was close. So he's a bit older than, is Rosie Ringer? Do we still have a profile for her? We got so many profiles, but no Rosie Ringer. Hang on. Oh, Penny. No, crew member, you're Penny Nichols. I love you. I love you, Penny.
All right, let's go see what the taxi driver could tell us.
The two men you told us about, did they have any baggage with them? All right, now I'll read some more in the chat, by the way. Nora says, I'm asleep. Good night, Nora. Thank you so much for being here, for hanging out with us. Oak says, oh yeah, my cousin just straight up bought me a super fancy keyboard. Apparently he's big into keyboards and he saw my cheap keyboard with literally ordered a fully custom keyboard with everything I could ever want. It's insane. My nephew, who's like a real like computer guy, the older of my two nephews, he one time got a new keyboard and wanted to give me his old one, which is like a really fancy, really clacky kind of keyboard. And it was much fancier than mine, but I kind of didn't like it because I'm so used to my crappy little keyboard. So when my old keyboard died, if you remember that a few months ago, the replacement I ordered was just the same crappy model. But on the plus side, it's really cheap. Nora says, can I go to Yuri at how much longer of stream? It depends on how long it takes me to catch up. We're 5 minutes away from the 3-hour mark, so we should be wrapping up. But we're going to go over. Nora. Oak said it was like $280 apparently. Like, holy crap, whoa. Nora says, yeet. Quingita said, whoever is helping me add quotes to the spreadsheet, thank you so much, holy heck. Nora said, Logan, I don't know who that is, but you should ask. Wait, I should ask what, who? Nora, what? Oak says, peek. Nora said, Logan knows how to rap the Don Don intro. I don't know quite all the words of the whole song, but I know a bunch of them. And Vera with a quote. Hang on, let me load this one up, the clip viewer, so we can watch this one all together. And this will also tell me how far behind I am. Last time we checked, I think I was like 45 minutes behind with a timestamp. Let's see how far behind I am with this. This one is 23 minutes, so I'm getting close. So let me pop this up with the clip viewer so we can all watch this one together. Give me a chance to catch my breath and have a sip of water. And gotta unmute, and there we go.
What about aliens?
Oh crap, is this? Oh, title full cover when?
I
think I left out one Don-da-don.
I should probably.
I think it was like Don-da-don, 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 Don-da-don. Did I leave out a Don-da-don? I can't remember. Listening to it, I think I might have messed up. But I do like, the second season is coming out. Apparently they have like a theatrical movie release of the first few episodes. I wasn't able to go see it, but I'm excited for the new season, really excited for it. But I'm a little bit bummed because of course they're gonna have a different theme song because anime has to do that these days. Let me read some more in the chat. Vera says, oh, Oak says, legit, I will make an Otonoke remix with Logan vocals. Would you do that? If I like recorded vocals, would you do that, Oak? Could I be a streamer that starts releasing covers? Could I do that? Like covers of anime songs? Cause like some streamers do that. Vera said, quotes twice. Nora says, oh, Mori, heartbreak, huh?
Genuinely, yes. Boo.
Ah! There's a long pause there. Thank you so much for the 10 bits, Oak. I kind of want to do that, but I don't know how to even start doing that. Also, this room really isn't, acoustically soundproof very well, but I could try. Just like record it. Maybe if I find a track of the song and like sing along with it so I have the timing, but like mute the song on the recording, maybe. With the ba-ba-ba.
If you're a streamer who sings covers, it's like that one girl who sings songs in the tone voice.
Oh my gosh, I love her cover of The Chandelier. I'm not even gonna try it because I'm sure I'd start spewing blood out of my mouth from all the damage it would do to me. But I freaking love that. I don't think I'm subscribed to her on YouTube. I should find it, make sure I'm subscribed to her. Does she still release videos? So good, so good. Thank you for reminding me of her, Vero. I was thinking more about like the. I think I've mentioned before, my favorite streamer, although she graduated recently, was Gargura. She's gonna re-debut with a new identity, but she, of course, all of like all of the VTubers, all like the Hololive VTubers, they're like J-pop idols too. Oak said, I would say do quote, remove, but that would change the quote order and ruin everything. We can't have quote 253 turn into 252 or 420 to 419. Wait, so are there 2 duplicates or something? Oh, it's just 2 Omori quotes, maybe. Quick said, keyboard slam, how is there a double Omori quote? Maybe I'll just like change one of them to redacted or something like that. Oh, they are the same. Quote 40 and 41. A flower crown is just a better onion ring. Huh, I'm so sorry. Vera says, edit quote to a long thing. Okay, it's after it says flower crown is just a better onion ring dash Logan. Brackets. Yes, this was quoted twice, so I'm going to put the Transformers animated intro here. Transformers, more than meets the eye. Transformers, robots in disguise. Autobots wage their battle to destroy the evil forces of the Decepticons. Transformers, oh, because the anime, so that's the other verse. More than they appear. Transformers, justice, bolts, and gears. I love, you should do, they have the extended version of that song also from the 86 movie soundtrack, done by Lion. It's great. I love how so many people just like add extra lyrics to it. Vera says, was it quote edit? Vera says, bet. Queen Gator said, beautiful. Nora says, oh. Says, is TF1 on Hulu? I don't know. Vera says, I don't know, to be honest. Nora said, wait, what month is it? Vera says, oh my gosh, it's 6/9 here. Oh, is it? Oh, that means where you are. It's Clam's birthday. I think it's the 9th for him, or the 10th. I think it's the 9th. We got to make sure that we wish Clam a happy birthday next time we see him. Krista says, meow, meow. Vera said, happy 6/9 for you. Krista says, very great 6/9. Nice. Nora said, it is, in fact, June. By the way, Crystal, did you have any raid suggestions? Nora said, oh, yikes, I'm tired. Happy gay. Do y'all want to know a fact? And then Nora says, so Z has really long tongue. It's really creepy. It's like Genocide Jack. Not quite as long as Jack's, but still terrifying, though. I hate her for it. So kind of like a Gene Simmons sort of tongue. Queen said, my favorite thing about putting in quotes in random times, if we happen to find a gap between 2 quotes, it's from the same stream, we can conclude that the gap is also from the stream. Smart powers. Queen Gator said, captions, Graham Reaper Jesse. Oak says, yes, actually, the genre is based on Daria. Ooh, interesting. Nora said, no, because that line isn't importable, but it would have been funny, but it would be like Grim Reaper Deska. Oh, that's right, because the question... actually, because is that the Grim Reaper? It would be Sorewa Grimu Reaper Deska. Because you gotta, is that. There we go, says, is that the Grim Reaper? I know, I wasn't thinking earlier. Nora says, I can't wait to stream P3R for the sole purpose of screaming that. Nora says, no, because my Discord account is linked to the other Twitch account, and that's the one that doesn't have a sub. Let's see, I gotta scroll. Nora says, as long as he doesn't watch the anime, it's fine, but if he watches the anime, I'm cooked. Queen Gator said, you know how I said that we might get another mine chest today? Never mind that, we ain't doing that tonight. Vera said, laughing, you said depending on how we play. Queen Katie says, true. Crystal says, Men in Black mentioned. I gotta be getting close to catching up, right? Oak says, lurk, doing computer stuff. Thank you for the lurk. Oak, over on YouTube. Thank you. Like, so many of you lurkers on YouTube are sticking around while I'm chatting with the Twitch chat that you can't even see right now. But I'm so close to, I've got to be close to catching up on Twitch chat. Nora says, I didn't go to sleep. I just meant I'm sleepy. Oh, okay. Vera said, it cracks me up how Logan pronounces Wang as Wang. What am I supposed to call him? Like, is it supposed to be Wang? Dijon Wang? Is it Wong? Is it Wong instead? Is it Wong instead of Wang? Vera says, it's Wong from Huang, Emperor. Okay, I'm sorry, it's Dijon Wong. Queen Gator said, Logan, if you're curious in our quote archives, we're filling up with a good chunk of the 400s period. Really? Nora says, yes. I gotta scroll. Nora says, I can do the Toad voice. Nora says, I can sing as Toad, but not as well as that girl. More than meets the eye is a line in a song I'm writing.
What's the chances of P4R being a remake of P4G or OG P4? Because P4G did add a whole new character and story arc. That being Marie. Oh,
so you're wondering if that stuff's gonna be in there. I saw like some people early on were like, maybe the Marie stuff will be DLC, kind of like episode I guess the answer was. But the problem is the Marie stuff was like spread throughout. I have no issue with the character Marie herself. I just did not enjoy her social link. So I would not mind if it was excised completely, because every social link was the same. It was like, oh, I'm going to hang out with Marie. Then all of a sudden, like, Yosuke and Teddy show up, and it's like, oh, hey, Marie, how are you doing? Oh, we love hanging out with Marie, too. Then Yukiko and Chie show up. Oh, is that Marie? We love Marie. We totally want to, and then Kanji and Naoto. What is that, Marie? How are you doing? Then, like, Nanako and Adachi show up and like, is that Marie? We love Marie. And then Dojima and Abir show up and like, is that Marie? We love Marie. And like everyone's just like, oh, we all love Marie. Marie was like Poochie from Simpsons. Every hangout was just about how everybody loved running into Marie. It really annoyed me. So I would love it if they pulled, as I said before, like a Final Fantasy VII remake and like twisted the timeline a little bit, but that probably won't happen. It's probably just gonna be either, I think they'll include Marie. I might be wrong though, but thank you very much. The 10 bits chaotic, I appreciate that. Have you been lurking this whole time? Vera says, next time I see a duplicate quote, I'll add dare to be stupid if I remember. Ooh, put down that chainsaw and listen to me. Nora says, you right, Logan. Quinket said, probably a good thing we're doing this archive. Probably never would have found the dupe, lol. Crystal says, Crystal. Vera says, laughing, yeah. Vera says, adding lyrics to duplicates. Crystal says, let the man catch up, lol. Laughing. Well, Crystal, did you ever do raid suggestions? Because I can see the end of chat in sight here. Vera said, I think Golden will be DLC, lol. But how would you do that as DLC? You'd have to like do a whole new playthrough unless like all the Marie hangouts are just after the fact or something. Queen Gator said, Marie, the persona Mary Sue, literally, because Marie equals Mary. Nora said, I'll just leak part of my song real quick. I'm assuming this is a lyric. There's no quote mark, but I'm guessing it says, it's in all of us, we try to hide little parts of us more than meets the eye. I assume it's about robots. It should be. Vera said, I say it'll be because I hope for it. I don't want to deal with her. That is fair. And there, 3 hours, 4 minutes, and 33 seconds. I caught up to chat for the first time of the night. Yeah. Oak said, thank you for the very no lot is back. No stream made me smile. I'm not wrapping up yet. Crystal never turned in her raid suggestions. There they are. Thank you very much for the raid suggestions, Crystal. I will copy these over. And thank you, Toilet Duck. I will save as well. I'm going to do all those things. So hang on, Toilet Duck. Oh, no, that's the screen. Okay, I got to save here. Save. Yeah, we didn't accomplish much tonight. Like, we accomplished very, very little tonight. But on the plus side, I don't know about you guys, I had a lot of fun hanging out with you guys. And I just used the words you guys twice in that sentence. That makes it sound like I have a very small vocabulary. But you know, it's not the size of a vocabulary that matters. It's the, it's how well you use it or something. Anyway, I do appreciate you guys being here. I'm going to check out those raid suggestions in just a few moments, though. Let's see. Oak says, thank you for very no lot is back. No stream made me smile. Nora said it's actually about P4. Garlic said, got a dip. Sadly, because late, but love y'all. Bye. Thank you so much for being here, Garlic. I appreciate you. Nora says, oh, Vero is the goat for real. Help me with translating the song because ... part of it's in Japanese. Crystal said, thank you for the ... Why is Lotta still here stream? That has been like the entire second half of this game, I feel. Has just been, why is Lotta here? Oh, by the way, it looks like one of Crystal's suggestions, oh, actually both of them, but one of them is away, is that Date Everything game. I'm very curious about that game. We should be able to check that out soon. Chaotic says, I love Marie personally, so either way, I hope she's there. Again, I have nothing against her as a character. I just didn't like her social link. Maybe if they like overhaul her social link, then I'd be more appreciative of that. But I just really hated those hangouts. Her character was fine. She had kind of an early Avril Lavigne vibe to her. She was fine. Vera salutes. Nora said, thank you for the Lotta Heart stream. Quigget said, thank you for the investigation stream. I guess me and Vera were just archiving quotes today, lol. Nora said, thank you for the very moshi, this Batty Verity stream. Vera said, more than me. See, I should be a tribute to me. Quigget said, see y'all next time for surely more Max Bonds. Yeah, so I should give you guys the rundown. Anyone who's lurking on Twitch, on YouTube, I got to give you the rundown on the community, what's going on here. So, Hi, I'm Logan. We stream Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays. Right now, we are alternating between this game, Ace Attorney Investigations 2, Prosecutor's Gambit, and Metaphor Refantasio, a great JRPG from the makers of Persona. It's really good. We're late game in that one, much like this one. So that means tomorrow is Monday. No stream tomorrow. I will be posting the schedule for the week on Discord. And so I assume the Crystal might have posted the link. Yeah, Vera did post the link tree. So there that is. I will cross-post that over to YouTube as well. That's what I gotta beat Crystal to do, and there it is. So that includes the Discord invite links if you're eager to see the schedule. Spoilers, it's not gonna be very different. So Tuesday, we're gonna play Metaphor. We're going to be maxing out some follower bonds in preparation for facing what might be the final boss or the penultimate boss. I don't know. We're getting close to the end. And Thursday, we're going to pick up where we're leaving off here with finally getting a lead on this kidnapping case. So that should be a lot of fun. Yeah, Quigita said, see y'all next time for surely more Max Bonds. Vera said the lyric. Nora said, sure, why not? Vera said, thank you for the very Will Powers stream. Quigita said, how to get that one, lol. Nora said, but it's referencing like ... their arcs and how their shadow selves are much more than meets the eye. Our quote 69 is just calling Marie Avril Lavigne. Oh, was it? I'd forgotten. Nora said, now we always just say Avril instead of Marie. I wish that you could like change the names of other characters in games like that, but obviously you can't if they're voiced. Nora says, tomorrow's Monday, it is! It's all right, it's summer right now. My FA brat summer. My FA brat summer! Vera says, haha, kidnapping. So yeah, I think I want to check out that Date Everything stream. I need to see what this game is like. I have a need. Because I love the concept. I love the cast, most of the cast anyway. I don't know all of them, but the ones I've seen sound great. I'm not crazy about the art style, to be totally honest, but I want to see, maybe I can be won over by it. Let's give it a shot. Nora said, Maya voice, I've missed you so! Oh, but unfortunately, well, I don't know. I was going to say probably never going to see Maya again. I guess if we do Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, if the main character in that, if the pro tag has a weird girl sidekick, she could get the Maya voice. Over on YouTube, Toshi says, thank you for the stream. Good night. Thank you so much for being here, Toshi, as well as everybody else on YouTube and lurking on Twitch and YouTube. I do mean it. I love and appreciate you all. I look forward to hanging out with you guys. I've said it a million times. I know I sound like a broken record. I am sorry, but I could play these games by myself if I really wanted to. But I do this because it is a vehicle for me to hang out with all of you guys. You all are amazing. As I said, I got to someday thank Chris Tergliafera for jump-starting this community because you are the best community. You are more amazing than I have any right to have hanging out with me than I ever could have hoped for. So thank you all for being an amazing community, for being my friends. I love and appreciate you all. Nora said, it's my FA brat summer. Oak says, good night, everyone. Love y'all. Nora said, also, the next AA game. Sure, Spirit of Justice came out 9 years ago. Hopefully that means it'll be soon. I don't know, but I love and appreciate you all. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Have a great rest of your night. Enjoy the raid. See you on Tuesday. Bye, everybody. Bye. Bye, 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 bye. And for those watching the VOD or over on YouTube, we got so many people on YouTube. I wish we could do a raid on YouTube. I've been told you can't. I could have sworn I saw somebody do a raid on YouTube once. I just don't know how to do it. So I'm sorry. So you lurkers, you viewers, I love and appreciate you as well. For everyone watching on YouTube or watching the VOD, good night as well.